of Mississippi State, ushering in the most successful 10-year span for any head coach in Bulldog history. Tonight, Sherrill confronts his past, his own creation, the Aggies. In the process, he'll discover how far he's come and how far he has to go. And look at this, an unexpected winter wonderland right in the heart of Cajun country, Shreveport, Louisiana. And it's the Sanford Independence Bowl, the 5th meeting all time between Mississippi State and Texas A&M. Hello, everybody. I'm Mark Jones. From all of us here at ESPN to all of you at home, all the best in the upcoming new year, which now is just, well, a few hours away, depending on where you are. Now, Jackie Sherrill comes into this contest extremely motivated. Here's why. He would like to close out a chapter on his past. He used to be the head coach at Texas A&M for 7 seasons, winning 3 Southwestern Conference titles. His defensive coordinator at the time was R.C. Slocum. Now, Sherrill left A&M under a shroud of mystery, in his wake recommending Slocum for the head coaching job, which he was eventually awarded. So when he looks across the field today, Sherrill, Gino Torretta, kind of looks at himself in the mirror. By the way, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too, partner.
This is not really about the coaches, though. It's about the players, right?
And you know what? Both of these teams are going to think back to Y2K and say, this is the season that could have been. They were flying high in mid-season. Mississippi State beat Florida when they were the #3 team in the country, dominated them. The next week beat Auburn. And how about this for Texas A&M? They beat Kansas State when they were the #8 team in the country and watched an 11-point fourth-quarter lead against the #1 team, Oklahoma, evaporate.
So important for the coaches to press the right buttons today, especially with the weather. Speaking of the weather, guy down in the field, Rob Stone, trying to keep warm. Rob, what's up?
Yeah, there's an understatement, Mark. Both coaches readily admit that the main storyline coming into this game is Jackie Sherrill's first game coaching versus his old school. However, also admitted, and interestingly by Coach Sherrill, is that if he had to do the whole A&M situation over again, he would have handled it much differently.
I didn't have to leave, contrary to what people believe, and I left because of the loyalty, the compassion, a lot of things at that time that Texas A&M gave me. And no one's ever heard the truth. You know, you've only heard a third party, and you know, no one has the first party but myself. And you know, one of these days when I finish coaching, then I will, you know, tell that side in a book.
Now, Coach told me just before kickoff he actually has 3 working titles in store for his book. One is So You Want to Be a Head Coach. The other is Second Chance. And the third, he said, Rob, with a smile, I just can't tell you that one.
All right, Rob, and make sure you get all of us on the mailing list. Gino, some cogent points for today's game.
Well, if Texas A&M, this is not your old Texas A&M team. They're going to open up the offense, and they're going to throw the football. And what do they have to do? Protect their quarterback, Ferris, if they're going to throw the football. In Mississippi State, who's bringing home the bacon? Pork Chop Womack, their left tackle, back in action. They lead the SEC in rushing per game. But, Mark, they've given up 23 sacks this season.
Yeah, offensively an interesting contrast in styles. Look at the temperature. 28 degrees. Wind chill is about 10 degrees. And the snow started about an hour ago and has not let up. We'll get more on that from Rob later regarding the field conditions. This is Larry Huntington for Mississippi State trying to get to the edge. And he is brought down near the 30-yard line. Starting quarterback for Mississippi State is Wayne Madkin, a 6'4", 227-pound junior, completing 56% of his passes on the season with 8 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. A look at the skill positions. DeCenzo Miller, their top rusher, number 12, one of the key people to watch out of the backfield, Gino.
And their center, though, Michael Fair, he is the key. Wayne Madkin, the quarterback, DeCenzo Miller, the tailback, and their center, Michael Fair, are really the key to this ball game.
First down and 10 for Mississippi State. The first time in a long time that they have gone with the all-white uniforms. Williamson and Miller lining up out of the opposite eye. The snap was mishandled. A&M recovers the fumble. An inauspicious beginning. The first play of the game, number 99, Ronald Flemings, recovers the loose ball.
And Mark, we talked about the weather. It's snowing. This ball is hard. It's cold out there. Just the center quarterback exchange. Madkin doesn't come up with the football, and Ronald Flemings the right defensive end comes up with the ball, and that's a good thing he was tackled because he was off for 6 points.
An incredibly poor beginning for the Bulldogs on their first possession. And in comes quarterback Mark Ferris, number 10 right there for the Aggies to lead their offense. Neither of these teams or programs is what you would describe as cold weather teams. First down and 10. Weber and Toombs lining up out of the offset eye. Carpenter in motion, and that's Jamar Toombs, the fullback, powering ahead for a couple of yards. There's a look at the starting quarterback, Mark Ferris, the sophomore, although he is 25 years old, 6'2", 206 pounds. A look at the skill positions. One of the guys to watch, Robert Ferguson, the team's leading receiver, and they will pitch and catch.
And they will throw the ball to Ferguson. He's about 90%. He's got 2 bad ankles, Mark. We'll have to check him in this cold weather. Maybe a little bit sore in this weather.
Yeah, he did sit out the Texas game, their last appearance. Toombs again straight ahead for about 3 yards, running behind this offensive line. McCauley, Valletta, McKinney, Yates, and Brooks.
And McKinney making his 38th straight start. He graduated in 3.5 years. He's a smart kid, and he gets this offensive line in the right place.
There's a look at the defensive front for the Bulldogs. Davis, Galladay, Blade, and Wims. Wims, the best pass rusher of the group.
And don't forget about Willie Blade. He was a semifinalist for the Outland Trophy this season.
Whitaker and Toombs lining up out of the eye on 3rd down and 4. To Ferguson, and he is close to the first down near the 10-yard line. Take a look at the linebackers for Mississippi State's defense. They play just 2 linebackers with 5 DBs. Hagan, a big surprise, just a sophomore. And there's a look at the DBs. Depth, a question mark there, Gino.
Depth, a question mark, but Josh Morgan, their free safety, he's going to blitz. He's going to be in a lot of tackles today.
Fred Smoot, their All-American, was declared academically ineligible a couple of weeks ago. Unable to play in this game. First down and goal to go for Texas A&M. Whitaker trying to get to the edge. Touchdown, Texas A&M. Richard Whitaker, the freshman, kicking in the turbo and finding pay dirt.
And Mark, Whitaker is their slasher type tailback, but take a look at this on the run. He takes the handoff from Ferris, and look at him tiptoeing, trying to keep his feet, and he does a good job of it and just barely gets the ball in inside the pylon.
A 9-yard touchdown run by Whitaker, outrunning Sean Birdsong into the end zone. And Texas A&M able to convert on that Mississippi State miscue, the fumble on their first series. Terrence Kitchens now in to attempt the extra point out of the hold of Wes Bodovich, and it's good. And the Aggies out of the Big 12 with an early 7-0 lead. Jackie Sherrill's team digging themselves an early hole. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the winter wonderland that is Shreveport, Louisiana. Conditions certainly having an effect on the footing of this game. The natural frosting today of my hair, courtesy of about over ½ an inch of the snow in the last 45 minutes. Here's what the players are playing on. It's called Astroplay. Has tremendous feel. You can see I'm pulling it up off the surface. 100% synthetic surface. Underneath it, you have about 1.5 inches of these black chewed up rubber pellets. It has great give on the field. But how does it handle these conditions? Well, if it's raining, it can handle over 7 inches of rain an hour due to drainage. I asked the guy in charge of the field, that's great. How does it handle the snow? After a long pause, he just kind of looked at me and said, son, we don't get much snow around these parts. He has no idea how this field is going to handle, but I'm just glad I could be here to share this moment with him.
All right, Robin, we're glad that you have the right footwear today. You could see Whitaker on that last touchdown run tiptoeing his way around the edge, not wanting to fall down, keeping his balance. Skates kicking off. This is Huntington near the goal line. Skates is pushed out of bounds near the 25-yard line. by Chance Pierce. Take a look at the Mississippi State offensive line. A huge one led by Pork Chop Womack, number 76.
And he's back, but Michael Fair, the center, second team all SEC. He really kept this line together when Womack was out.
Texas A&M meanwhile plays a 3-4 alignment. To look at the front guys, Ronald Flemings, the one that recovered the fumble moments ago.
Mark, but Ron Edwards is really the key to this defense. He needs to play well and plug up that middle.
First down and 10 from the 25-yard line. Wayne Madkin in for his second series. Madkin has been bothered by a sinus condition all week. Missed practice a couple of days ago. Hands it off to DeCenzo Miller. Let's take a look at the linebackers led by Brian Gamble, who made that tackle just on that play. Christian Rodriguez, Cornelius Anthony, and Roylyn Bradley, number 3.
And Brian Gamble, a former high school quarterback, makes all the checks for this defense.
On the corners, the guy to watch is number 22, Sammy Davis. He's their top cover guy.
But look out for the free safety, Jamison. He's very active. He'll be in a lot of tackles. We may see him blitz a little bit.
Sammy Davis on the corner. It's lonely out there, especially in the snow. Second down and 11. Madkin keeps it himself.
And Mark, there's that added dimension that Wayne Madkin adds to this Mississippi State offense. He can run the ball. He's very athletic. Texas A&M on defense likes to blitz, likes to play a lot of man coverage. So look for that quarterback draw, maybe to be a factor, especially with the footing today.
Ball on the 30-yard line. And Gino, you can use your little telestrator there to circle that, because up here in the booth, folks, we'll be honest with you, we don't have a great vantage point with the snow down in the field. We're relying on a rise down in the sidelines. Out into the flat, incomplete. Intended for Justin Griffith out of the backfield. And it'll be 4th down and 6 from the 30. Bradley in on the coverage, and Mississippi State will have to punt.
And Mark, anytime a quarterback is throwing the football in these conditions, the routes you like to throw are hitches and curls, because you can really drive the ball and really put a lot of mustard on it. You don't like to throw those little touch passes to the flat, because the wind and the condition can really take the ball and float it, maybe even cause an interception.
And Madkin, Gino, here in the first quarter, throwing into the wind. We have a timeout down on the field. Our official wearing the white hat today, Claire Cosman. We're going to take a short break and then come back to Shreveport. On a night that Frosty the Snowman would be proud of here in Shreveport, Louisiana, Mark Jones, Gino Torretta, and Rob Stone. Mississippi State punting on its second possession. Prentice Cole punting to Mickey Jones. Low punt. Cole gets a fortuitous bounce. Texas A&M with the wind at its back. Ball down by Don Gentry. Interesting season for Mississippi State. Through the middle part of their schedule, they picked up some important wins, especially that one against Alabama, but then they had a chance to win out, Gino, and end up in the title game, but they lost 2 key ones to Arkansas and Ole Miss.
And it's really, Mark, they folded in the 4th quarter. They've been outscored 51-7 in those 4 losses in the 4th quarter.
1st and 10 from their own 26-yard line. The Aggies. Jamar Toombs. Meanwhile, Texas A&M, a couple of close calls as well, especially that one against Oklahoma, 35-31 losers.
And in Oklahoma, they watched an 11-point 4th quarter lead evaporate.
Of course, when you play in a bowl game, it's a great chance to eliminate all the bitter memories. All on the 29-yard line. 2nd down and 7. Toombs is the lone back. 2 tight ends, 2 wideouts for the Aggies. Quick receiver screen. Ferguson eludes one tackler. Lunging forward near the 1st down. Back to the studio in a warm Reese Davis.
Well, Mark, Fresno State's getting snowed under in the Silicon Valley, but that's only figuratively speaking. Mike Thiessen from the 9 goes in again, and Air Force is up 34-7 at the break.
Okay, race and conditions, as you can see, in stark contrast here in Shreveport.
Hey, Mark, can I change my keys to the game? I don't think anybody can throw the ball in these conditions, but Air Force and Colorado State, we had a chance to do earlier in the year, and they did it very well. I'm not sure A&M can do it, though.
Similar conditions, you're right there. Off tackle, Toombs again. And when he gets a load of steam up, it's tough to bring him down. Toombs with an Aggie first down into Mississippi State territory. Brought down finally by Josh Morgan and Kendall Roberson on the corner.
And it's a big, strong, physical front for Texas A&M. Look at the hole Toombs has to run through. He's a big fella, 6 foot, 270 pounds. Look, there's a face mask, right? That's the only way you can bring a guy down like that, with bad footing out here. Look at him trying, Mississippi State trying to rip the ball out. But the big fella, I tell you what, we've got a chance to see a couple great fullbacks the last couple of games we've done, Mark. And Jamar Toombs definitely fits that bill, scoring 14 touchdowns this season.
Toombs, Gino, picking up 34 yards. Ball on the Mississippi State 31. And this is Toombs again. You know, he's listed at 6 foot 275, the junior is, but speaking with him, he says, well, you know what, I'm really closer to like 260, 255. Oh, okay.
Either way, that's a big fullback, but he's very athletic. And I tell you what, just like Chris Carter, all he does is catch touchdowns. All Toombs does is score touchdowns.
Yeah, scored 14 of them this year. Half of their offensive total. 2nd down and 8. Ball on the Mississippi State 29-yard line. Toombs again exclusively. You can hear the chorus coming from the Aggie boosters here. They'll say Toombs. You'll hear them throughout the night. Eugene Clinton, the strong safety, making the tackle for the Bulldogs.
And Mark, it's interesting to see how Texas A&M has already adjusted to these field conditions. Whitaker and Joe Weber are their tailbacks, but they've gone with their big jumbo backfield, and Toombs lining up at tailback and Stacy Jones at fullback as his blocker. 2 essential fullbacks in the backfield.
A lot of versatility, Gino, in that Aggie offense. Toombs again gets to the edge. Still on his feet. Toombs inside the 5-yard line. Another Aggie first down. A touchdown-saving tackle made by Willie Blade.
And all started the left guard, Chris Valletta. Watch him pull out in front of Toombs. There you see the block on the right side of your screen. And there's Toombs just rumbling and stumbling down inside the 10-yard line. Watch the left guard. There he is. Pull around the corner. He seal blocks. Does a great job of it. And look at Toombs. Boy, he is athletic for his weight and size.
You know, the left side of that Aggie offensive line is where their experience is located. 1st and goal from the Bulldog 4. Toombs, why not? Touchdown Aggies.
For the Texas A&M touchdown.
Texas A&M has jumped out to a 13-0 lead.
And who'd they follow, Mark? The left tackle, Tango McCauley, and once again the left guard, Chris Valletta, who the coaches say, hey, he really has a chance to make it at the next level in the NFL. There you see the big fullback Jones in front of him. Toombs just following his blockers. No one has a chance to stop a 6 foot, 280-pound fullback when he's got a head of steam.
Jamar Toombs has played his best games this season in the biggest games, namely Kansas State and Oklahoma. Terrence Kitchens in to attempt the extra point. Wadovich with the hold. And he knocks it through. The men from College Station, Texas, led by R.C. Slocum, lead
Take a look at the left side. Valletta, he pulls. There's the fullback lead block. They completely seal that right side of the defensive line for Mississippi State. No one has a chance, like I said, to stop Toombs, the big fullback, once he's got a head of steam and he's going north and south with the ball.
Jackie Sherrill, meanwhile, wondering maybe, Gino, what have I created at Texas A&M?
You know, he was really talking about the speed that Texas A&M had. He even told us, hey, they're going to be surprised by the speed Mississippi State has. Well, guess what? It's snowing, and all that speed on both sides of the football is neutralized, and it's going to come down to who wins that battle up front. And thus far, Texas A&M is doing a great job of owning the line of scrimmage.
And we'll see if Mississippi State can respond, because they do have the tools to get a power game going, a power running game especially. They did lead the SEC in rushing yardage per game at about 194 per contest. So it's not like they're capable of not capable of doing it. They've done it in the past. They've done it all season. And these are the kind of conditions that call for that type of game, as you just mentioned.
And especially with their left tackle, Porkchop Womack, back in the lineup. He was all SEC, even though he did miss half this football season. They averaged, like you said, Mark, 193 rushing yards per game. So Mississippi State is not out of this ball game. They can play power football as well.
The footing treacherous down there. Skates kicking off like he was on skates. Into the end zone and out of bounds. The Bulldogs will start off on their own 20-yard line. And for more on the footing, let's go down to Rob.
Well, Mark, just about a minute ago, you saw one of those sweepers coming down in the field trying to clear out some of the snow, because it's really starting to accumulate. You know what the players are doing on the sideline is right here, see on the Mississippi State sideline, that large piece of white plastic. The snow is accumulating in their cleats. The players are coming over like this gentleman is right now, wiping them out, smacking them out, because they're really starting to lose traction. And they're no dummies. They're getting their college education. That's why I'm over here. They're hanging out by the propane heaters. It is a good place to be, and if you need me, this is where I'll be for most of the game.
We'll find you there for sure, Rob. All right, I'm Mark Jones along with Gino Toretta, Rob Stone on the sidelines. 14-0 here in the 25th edition of the Sanford Independence Bowl. Texas A&M and another fumble. DeCenzo Miller, number 12, pounced on the loose ball for Mississippi State. The second time tonight that we've seen a miscue between the center and the quarterback.
And it's so frustrating when you're trying to run plays and you can't get the center quarterback exchange down. And the whole reason Michael Fair's not getting that ball up, hey, he's trying to block 96 Ron Edwards. The guy is consistent. He brings great effort every snap. He was trying to pull and get a block on 96, and he couldn't do it and get the snap up.
Boy, you saw that stat moments ago, Gino. The SEC's leading rushing team with just 1 yard rushing so far in the first quarter. Out of the shotgun, low snap, and another fumble. Atkin takes off. And he is brought down after a gain of about 7. Christian Rodriguez, the linebacker, making the tackle.
Mark, Mississippi State is going to have no chance unless they get this center quarterback exchange worked out. It doesn't matter if Madkin's under center or in the shotgun. He's just not getting the snaps. They need to work this out, else it's going to be a long night in the cold weather.
That's the third fumble we've seen on the exchange. The ball on the Bulldog 27-yard line. Their own 27, 3rd and 3. They have yet to get a first down in the ball game. This is their third possession. Williamson and Miller in the backfield. Complete to Miller, and Miller gets Mississippi State's first down of the night. And you can hear those cowbells from the Bulldog fans.
And here we go, Mark. We actually got the quarterback center exchange. Madkin drops back, and DeCenzo Miller, no stranger to catching the football. He has 24 catches already this season. That's number 2 on their ball club.
Miller, Gino, playing with an injured shoulder. A shoulder that will probably require surgery at the end of the season. Approaching 6 minutes to play in the first period. Ball on the Mississippi State 32-yard line. First down and 10 for the Bulldogs. Miller into the boundary. Has some room, and he's near another Mississippi State first down, brought down by Terrence Keel, the strong safety, on run support.
And the fullback, 32, Kenny Williamson, made a great block there. Now Mississippi State, hey, maybe the first 12 plays they had scripted, they had to change with these field conditions. There's the fullback. He comes outside, does a great job of cutting down the defender and opening up the hole for DeCenzo Miller.
There's a look at the thankless job of the fullback, Kenny Williamson.
And another big guy, 6'2", 244 pounds. That's at the start of the season. We're not sure the weights at the end of the season. They don't weigh these guys at the end of the season.
Power, of big part of the formula for success tonight. And look at the discrepancy in the trenches, Gino.
Look at that, 276 pounds for the Texas A&M. They give a lot of weight up, and it's the right end. Ronald Flemings is only 250 pounds. But you know what? The coaches say, hey, he can run like a deer, so look out.
Oh, he's going against Pork Chop. Pork Chop Womack, number 76. That's 346 against 249 pounds. That alone is a 100-pound discrepancy. Ball at the 41-yard line for the Bulldogs. And we are told now from the sidelines that the phones may be out. So the coaches up in the booth not able to communicate with the ones on the sidelines.
And the rules on that, Mark, is if one team cannot talk to their coaches up in the booth, the other team has to take off their headsets. And apparently that's the situation here.
And what do you do now? How do you communicate? How do you get things down to the sidelines? Or do you just go by feel?
I don't know. Do they have any binoculars on the sidelines? No. I mean, the coaches now on the field have to start making the calls now. The head coach has to make that decision, whether he's calling plays or calling the defenses.
R.C. Slocum trying to work it out on the sidelines. That headset in his right hand dead. Second down and 11. Mississippi State with the ball on its own 41. Whistle went before the miscue on the snap. Vincenzo Miller recovered it anyway. And a flag down on the play.
I think that may be delay a game, Mark, but once again, the ball's on the ground with the center quarterback exchange.
Dead ball. Delay game. Offense, 5 yards. Remains second down.
So we'll march this one off against the Bulldogs. And the weather affecting so many different things in this game.
Look at that. You can hardly see the play clock. I can't even see it.
It's down there somewhere in the bottom left-hand corner. Bulldogs back on their own 36-yard line now. Second and 6. Miller stays on his feet and is close to the first down. Vincenzo Miller, a versatile back, brought down by Anthony that time. Top rusher on the team, 996 yards coming into this contest, averaging 6.2 yards per pop, to go along with 10 touchdowns on the season.
There it is, Mark. You can barely see the 25-second clock from far away. That's going to be all on Wayne Madkin, their quarterback. He has to make sure he sees that 25-second clock.
That thing is a rumor from where he's looking. Ball on the Mississippi State 45. Madkin completes it to Griffith out of the backfield. He's met immediately for a gain of a couple on the play.
And you're going to see both these teams, when they start having success running the football, A&M has already done it. Mississippi State now starting to get their feet, get the center quarterback exchange worked out. They're going to start using a lot more of this play action. Anything to misdirection, if the field is questionable on the footing, these guys are going to come open. They may break a big one just on a short pass.
Second down and 7. Mississippi State from its own 48. To the tailback that time. Miller again. Stopped up near the line of scrimmage, tackled by Brian Gamble. The 6'2 sophomore at Alto, Texas, leads the team in tackles. Number 2 on the squad in sacks. This wrecking crew defense was really the blueprint of R.C. Slocum when he was Jackie Sherrill's defensive coordinator back in the mid and late 80s.
And Mark, it's hard enough to get a first down on 3rd and 8 in perfect conditions, but 3rd and 8 in these conditions, almost impossible.
Some lofty numbers put up by that defense during the course of the season. 3rd down and 8 for the Bulldogs from their own 47. Madkin steps back and calls a timeout. His team trailing 14-0 when we come back to Shreveport.
Suit Warehouse, Detroit's fashion resource. Suits, always 2 pairs of course. Suit Warehouse, get your wardrobe in line. Suit white suits. I'm big and tall on every side. Will suit you just fine.
It's Nissan's Goodbye Sales Event. For 13 days only, you get the goodbye. Now through January 2nd, get an extra $500 bonus cash when you purchase or lease almost every new Nissan. Get a Maxima, Sentra, Quest, or Frontier pickup truck and get $500 bonus cash. Get an Altima with a total of $1,900 cash back. Hurry, on January 2nd, say goodbye to the Nissan Driven.
We've got the SportsCenter DVD coming out. Classic shows, behind the scenes. Matter of fact, some of the guys are recording anchor commentaries right now.
They give me the most important stories and, you know, try to get me on camera as often as possible. A lot of women find me extremely sexy. The putt's in. See? The putt's in. I already knew it was in. I'm tight with about 300 players. I didn't like my hair this day. I got rid of that hairdresser.
It's a great way for the fans to really get inside our head.
If it's good for ratings and they tell me it is, fine, stick me on camera a lot, and they do quite often.
No, you are not watching the Weather Channel. This is ESPN's presentation of the Sanford Independence Bowl from Shreveport, Louisiana. Now, tonight's weather conditions, nothing to sneeze at, literally, for Mississippi State QB Wayne Madkin, who suffers from a chronic sinus condition. Cold temperatures usually translate to symptoms ranging from coughing to difficulty of breathing. Friday, he was held out of practice and was sent to the hospital for chest x-rays for evaluation. He's been drinking his OJ and popping his vitamins, but coaches have no idea how long he can go for tonight.
And that means, Rob, that we will probably see Kevin Fant at some point during the course of the evening. Fant played most of the game against Ole Miss in their season finale, a game in which Mississippi State lost 45-30. 3rd down and 8 for the Bulldogs from their own 47-yard line. They trail 14-0. The Aggies scoring on a turnover, and then one behind Jamar Toombs running, and that's where we stand right now. Madkin had his man and overthrew his target, Terrell Grindle. And it's 4th down on a near miss by Madkin.
And Wayne Madkin really wants this ball back because A&M, look at this. They come in an all-out blitz. There's a safety creeping up. He's got a post route, and his receiver is wide open. All he has to do is lead him. But, Mark, it's awful tough to throw the ball in these conditions.
I was just going to ask you, Gene, with these kind of cold and windy, snowy conditions, do balls sail more than usual?
I don't know what they do. I played Miami, Mark. I barely played in rain. I didn't never have to play in this stuff.
Got the wrong guy, sorry.
We need to get John Elway on the phone.
Prentice Cole punting. Hangs one up real high for Chris Taylor, who lets it bounce. And it is down near the 20-yard line. A&M with a 14-0 lead. And the Aggies on offense once again after that 33-yard punt. Story of the game so far has been the big fullback, 275-pound Jamar Toombs, running 8 times for a total of 73 yards on the last touchdown drive by Texas A&M.
And Mark, all over their left side. Their left side is really the experienced, biggest, and most athletic part of their offensive line. And Texas A&M has made no bones about it early. We're running for our strength.
Toombs and Jones lining up out of the eye on 1st and 10. It's Toombs again. Over the left side again. Brought down. A different result this time. The charge led by number 98, Mario Hagan.
And a great job by the Mississippi State defense. Texas A&M overloaded the left side of the line with an off-balance set, brought a tight end over, and Mississippi State slanted their defense towards it, and it was the first time they were able to stop Toombs.
Still on the 20-yard line. It is 2nd down and 10 for Texas A&M. Toombs and Jones lining up out of the eye. Toombs between the tackles this time. It's about 5. Brought down by Wims and Galladay.
Mark, let's take a look at the footing. Toombs here, his first couple steps are ginger, but look at him once he gets the football. He really starts, look at him, trying to get his footing so he's not going to slip on his start. But once he gets the ball and starts getting going a little bit, there's no stopping this kid. There you see the first couple steps. He hits the hole, and he's saying, boy, I'm getting through there.
3rd down and 3 from the Aggies' own 27. Toombs, usually a sure bet in short yardage situations. Not sure that he got there this time.
It's going to be 4th down, Mark. He is clearly short, probably by a yard.
Lots of physical play in the middle. Toby Galladay, the 6'2 senior that time, making the tackle on Toombs. And it'll be 4th down. The Aggie punt team comes in. Cody Skates to punt.
Skates, their punter, is a freshman All-American. He's a weapon, average over 40 yards per punt this season.
Back deep is number 22 right there, Larry Huntington. Low line drive, end over end punt. And it's down at about the 32-yard line by Jonte Buell. A 39-yard punt, nothing on the return. Bulldogs with the ball with 27 seconds to play, and this is the first quarter. An auspicious beginning for R.C. Slocum's team.
And Mark, our viewers are probably wondering, Mississippi State, this is a new uniform for them. They haven't worn these uniforms since 1970, and thank goodness they did, because both these teams look very similar. They're the same colors, and with this snow, I'm not sure if we'd be able to tell who was who.
In those all-white uniforms, could be a whiteout from Mississippi State. Walker and Griffith in the backfield. Ball on the Bulldog 32-yard line. Another fumbled snap. The 4th one tonight. Madkin recovering it, though. He and Fair are going to have to work this thing out. Michael Fair is one of the team captains. He's played every snap this year.
Mark, I think that Madkin, it looks like the center's really staying in. He got the ball up. It looks like it hit the quarterback, Madkin's top hand. But I tell you what, after this drive, these two really need to just stand on the sidelines and take about 10 or 15 snaps, making sure they got it down.
First 15 minutes are in the books. Jamar trying to entomb the hopes of Mississippi State as A&M leads 14-0 when we come back.
The Winter X Games begin February 2nd.
Bold, smooth writing ink. Now easily erases. Presenting new Papermate Eraser Dot Max. It's like having your own personal delete key. Papermate, at the heart of communication.
If you've been waiting for a fine luxury automobile, here's your opening. The Lincoln Year-End Event, featuring the Lincoln LS, the high-performance luxury sedan, or the 300-horsepower Lincoln Navigator with 3 rows of seating. Now, whether you buy or lease, Lincoln will make your first month's payment, plus save even more with additional incentives at your local Lincoln dealer. The Lincoln Year-End Event ends January 2nd.
I want to tell you about a brand new way.
Brand new way of quitting smoking.
It's unique, it's effective, it's orange.
New Nicorette Orange.
It's Nicorette.
So I still help prevent cravings on my own regular schedule.
I still help answer cravings with another piece.
And now I have orange.
Brand new orange flavor. Only from Nicorette.
Here, taste this.
Now this just may be a flavor I can quit with.
Sometimes victory's so close.
You can taste it.
You can do it. New Nicorette Orange can help.
This is a Culligan drinking water system. Here's how it works. Imagine this is your family's drinking water, and this is a water impurity. Then this Culligan drinking water system. It's more than a pitcher or faucet filter. It's a security system for your water.
Does your family's water need a clean bill of health? Find out at Culligan.com.
Has he been fed?
Back at the Sanford Independence Bowl, Texas A&M leading 14-0. You don't usually see this kind of snow in Cajun country, Rob Stone.
No, not at all. I mean, people down here don't even know how to make snow angels, much less clear the field. They have one truck right here, and it just got done running over the goal line and the 5 and the 10-yard line, trying to clear it so the referees can see it. It covers about a 6-foot-yard swath of territory, but that's all they got, and that's all they can do right now.
Well, it sure helps us out, Rob, up here in the booth. We can at least see where the goal lines are now. Running off tackle is Griffith on 1st and 10. He has a Mississippi State first down out near midfield. The best run of the night for Mississippi State. Keel making the tackle.
And Shreveport not necessarily ready for the snow, and it doesn't apparently Mississippi State quarterback Wayne Madkin isn't either, because he's fumbled 3 to 4 snaps already, and unless they get it worked out, like I said earlier, Mark, it's going to be a long night.
They have the ball right now on their own 44-yard line. First down and 10. As the mishandled snaps continue to pile up. Play clock down at 5. This is Walker, Dante Walker, with his first carry of the night. Out on Texas A&M side of midfield, tackled by the free safety, Jamison. Walker came into the game with 795 yards rushing, 9 touchdowns on the season. Nice little change of pace. He's a little faster than DeCenzo Miller.
And not too shabby, Mark, averaging over 5 yards a carry. Both these backs, DeCenzo Miller and Walker, averaging over 5 yards a carry. You have to credit the offensive line of Mississippi State. The Bulldog line, they're a bunch of big boys up front.
A&M coming on a blitz.
He's got him wide open.
Atkin has a man. And through the arms of his receiver, 15, Grindle. Can't help but wonder if looking back into the snow and the footing might have affected him there.
Mark, he's beaten Sammy Davis on a post, and it looks like Grindle's got him beat. Davis trips and falls, and I think just that little clip of his foot, you know, a good no call by the official on a non-pass interference call, but Madkin had his man again wide open on the post. Texas A&M is going to do this all night. They're going to leave their corners on islands and say, hey, you got to play a lot of man coverage.
Big challenge then for Davis and Weston on the islands. Ball at the A&M 46-yard lines, 3rd down and 1. The toss to Dante Walker. He didn't get it. The wrecking crew wrecks the first down hopes on that play of Mississippi State. Bradley, Royland Bradley, a pro prospect, leading the charge that time, along with Anthony.
A great job of the Texas A&M defense just swarming to the football. The front 4 really gets the Mississippi State offensive line. They cut them down and let those linebackers rally to the football.
And once again, Mississippi State will have to punt. Prentice Cole. This year has put 16 punts inside the 20-yard line. Chris Taylor standing on his own 10. And a flag. This one appears to be against Mississippi State, as Chris Taylor was back for the punt return, took a hit. It was Miles Randall who went after him on that 47-yard punt. And yes, it is against the Bulldogs.
There you see Rendell just goes after the kick returner. That's a senseless penalty right there, Mark, because they had him pinned back inside the 5-yard line. Now the ball is going to come out with the penalty.
And we have a timeout down in the field as R.C. Slocum peers through the snowflakes. His team with the lead.
When research in Atlanta transfers data to product design in Germany, who video conferences production in Venezuela, who emails marketing back in Atlanta, you end up with a successful product launch and one very, very happy boss. Connect and create something. Bell South.
When you were sad and lonely, you know you want me. Back off, he's the killer.
Oh, she tell you? She quit.
No more cigarettes.
Gave them up all at once.
It's tough, but it's the best way.
Total commitment.
And total smarts.
Yeah, well, Nicoderm CQ.
Nicotine cravings are rough. Last time, cold turkey. I was bad company.
There was this time that she... Oh.
With CQ, I get the highest level of nicotine, step down gradually, 3 steps forward, no steps back. That's my plan.
Nicoderm CQ, the power to help you quit.
Now, let's talk about some of your bad habits.
The year was 1983, and Danger Kitty released their hit single, Love Rocket. With it came instant fame and fortune. They bought mansions, cars, and the finest women's clothing. But by 1984, the fans left, the fortune was gone, and the dream was over. Desperate for money, Danger Kitty last performed at the Smuggler Bar Mitzvah.
Some people just can't live within their means. The Discover card with spending management tools for the slightly smarter consumer.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of the 2000 Sanford Independence Bowl is presented by Bell South, official telecommunications sponsor of the Sanford Independence Bowl, and in part by Dodge and nearly 3,000 dealers who invite you to come see what's different.
Meanwhile, down on the sidelines, the coaches have their headsets and communication systems working once again. So Slocum and Sherrill with the headsets back on. First down and 10. Ball on the Texas A&M 24-yard line. Richard Whitaker and Jamar Toombs lining up out of the eye. Toombs has been the game's most effective and productive player so far. This is him again. Toombs picking up about 3. Coming out of that commercial break, you can probably tell that they swept off the hash marks. The officials know where to place the ball. A second down and about 7 to go. Mark Ferris, the quarterback for Texas A&M, a 25-year-old sophomore, completing almost 60% of his passes.
Mark, you want to play a little tic-tac-toe with my telestrator here?
Next play. Ferris hands off, a juggled handoff. Whitaker got about 1.
Here's the hash marks. Here's some yard markers. And go ahead, Mark.
I'll go there.
All right, I'll take the middle.
Take the corner.
All right, I got you beat, I think. Let's see. I guess I'll go here. All right, there.
To be continued.
Oh, you won.
The field looking like a grid once they clear out some parts of it.
It doesn't last long, though, because the yard markers are already covered back up with snow.
3rd and 3, incomplete. The Aggies will have to punt. It was intended for Bethel Johnson, number 9. Mississippi State now with an opportunity, perhaps, to get some good field position. They have the wind at their backs here in the second quarter. They have yet to score. Ferris going to the sidelines, and Jackie Sherrill hoping to put on an impressive show against the school where he coached for 7 years, and against his former defensive coordinator, R.C. Slocum. Cody Skates punting. Larry Huntington back deep for Mississippi State. Another low punt. That has been the norm tonight. And Mississippi State will start with its best field position of the night. Hey, folks, don't forget more college football coming up for you. Capital One Bowl Week features the Outback Bowl Monday, January 1st, 11 a.m., 8 a.m. on Pacific time on ESPN. South Carolina against number 18 Ohio State. Lou Holtz's team, one of the big turnarounds of the college football season. And what would make someone wear, well, nothing? How do you figure that one out?
He's not the medical school here at Texas A&M, I'm sure.
Deontay Walker, deep back out of the eye. Adkin going up top. Incomplete. Intended for Jenkins.
Well, Mark and Gino, you guys have mentioned Madkin having problems holding on to the ball. During that last time out on the sideline, he came over and told the coaches, hey, my hands are freezing. What they did is they gave him 6 of those little hand warmers, you know, the skiers use. He put them in his pocket, tried to warm up his hands, and the coaches told him, hey, just get closer to the center and just worry about just handling the snap first off and then deal with the play after that. And they've pretty much thrown out all shotgun formations because of the difficulty handling the snap.
It all starts right there, Rob. Good point. This time, though, they do take a chance, go to the shotgun, and Fair gets it back there. It is being ruled complete. They're going to call it a catch to Jenkins. He went right back to the same receiver. And Jenkins is 6 foot 1 inch redshirt freshman.
That's those little hitch passes that I told you I like. But I tell you what, in this weather, these defenders know these receivers aren't going to run a lot of routes against them. Their passing tree, their route tree is really cut down with these conditions because of the footing.
Here in Shreveport, Louisiana, the Independence Bowl. Mark Jones along with Gino Torretta, Rob Stone on the sidelines. It is 14-0. Texas A&M out of the Big 12 South against the SEC West Mississippi State Bulldogs. Both teams coming in 7-4 on the season. Madkin. Incomplete. And now a late flag. It was intended for Huntington, who tried to make an adjustment on the ball. He was being blanketed by Sean Weston, number 31.
He was definitely being blanketed, Mark. Madkin throws this ball up. Like we said, it's tough to throw, but watch the footing here. The adjustment, and Sean Weston just runs over the receiver, Huntington, and a good call by the official, pass interference.
Automatic first down for the Bulldogs. Gino, moving the ball and being successful on first down was something that they really wanted to accomplish, throwing especially on first down coming into the game.
And it's even more important now with these field conditions. If you can pick up a lot of yards on first down, then you can take some chances and throw the football down the field on 2nd and short. But if you don't pick up a lot of yards on first down, you're going to run it on 2nd and 3rd down again.
And the Bulldogs were also looking, you would think, to build up a little time of possession and keep that high-flying A&M offense off the field, even in these conditions, even though we didn't expect this kind of snow.
I don't know if there's going to be much high-flying offenses here today.
We've seen Madkin go to the air on a couple of occasions on this drive. First down and 10 for Mississippi State at the Texas A&M 45-yard line. The Bulldogs showing their first 4 wide receiver set. Madkin goes back to the same guy, number 22, Huntington, and it's incomplete. Working on Weston once again. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
And look at the teamwork there, trying to get all the snow off the footing. I think that the teams are making a big deal. Snow doesn't stick into your cleats. They're not used to playing on this surface. This is not grass. It's not going to be muddy. Their cleats aren't going to be full of mud and dirt. All that is a little bit of snow, and it'll come off as they run.
Throwback football. What do you know about snow, man. You're from Miami.
I grew up in Northern California. I didn't have to play in this stuff when I snow skied there.
Forgot about the blizzards up there. On 2nd and 10, it's Dante Walker running over the left side of the line, which means he was following Pork Chop Womack and Courtney Lee, brought down by Robertson. Let's talk about Womack a little bit. He was injured, suffered a stress fracture in the LSU game, and this is his first game back. Says he's about 90%, which is 100% better than most offensive linemen.
And even though he missed half the season, Mark, he was all SEC voted by the coaches. So this kid is one heck of a left tackle. And we'll get back to the stress fractures on how he actually...
Big gaping hole for Walker, and he could go. Touchdown, Dante Walker.
Dante Walker takes it open. A 45-yard Mississippi State touchdown.
A 45-yard burst, and the Bulldogs are on the scoreboard.
And Mark, we were talking about the left tackle, Pork Chop Womack, but that was the left guard, Courtney Lee, the 6'4", 350-pounder. Watch him pull around and lead the way for Walker. There's the block at the point of attack on Brian Gamble, and Dante Walker's off to the races.
Walker with his 10th touchdown of the season. Came into this contest averaging 72 yards rushing per game. And the cool and calm demeanor of Jackie Sherrill continues from the sidelines. Westerfield in to attempt the extra point. Can't take anything for granted on the kicking game in these conditions. But Westerfield knocks it through. And Mississippi State has cut A&M's lead to just 7. We'll be back to the Independence Bowl in Shreveport right after this.
Sharpie, mark whatever you want.
In case of an emergency, make sure you're in the right vehicle. The all-new Dodge Grand Caravan, the best minivan ever, with a safety cage body structure, head impact protection, front airbags that deploy at different levels depending on conditions, and available side airbags. Dodge Caravan. It's not a minivan. It's a mini vault. The all-new Dodge Caravan. Different.
Shreveport, Louisiana, an exciting, thriving metropolitan community of 400,000. A progressive city, fast becoming one of America's top entertainment destinations. It's the medical capital of an entire region. A city of quality education, of cultural diversity, and incredible economic opportunity. A city of families, rich in tradition, and guided by a strong new vision. This is the new Shreveport. It's something special.
The Tostitos Fiesta Bowl, as much a part of college football as ABC Sports. Oregon State faces Notre Dame New Year's Day at 8:30, 5:30 Pacific.
Yes, I want to send my best wishes out to my brother and my mother, Michael, my brother Michael Hagan, and my mother Wanda Barnett. I love you both, and you both inspired me to play the way I have. I love you.
From all of us at Mississippi State and Independence Bowl, have a happy new year, and hope all your wishes come true.
Center Michael Fair and Mario Higgins. There's a couple of Mississippi State Bulldogs wishing us all a very prosperous 2001.
Woo. Wow. Were you in a time warp, Jonesy?
Just caught back in the snow a little bit. Mississippi State on this last drive finally getting untracked.
And a big part of that was the pass interference call that kept their drive alive.
5 plays, 59 yards, using up 158 on the clock. Michael John Martin kicking off. Richard Whitaker Back deep, and the cheerleaders, they haven't stopped either. Everyone's still at work, forging ahead through the snow. Wayne Goins and the fellows who run the Dog Pound Rock, the special teams unit for Mississippi State, bring down Whitaker at the 20-yard line. 9:13 to play in the first half. A&M with a 7-point lead.
And it is starting to come down on the snow. I mean, it's very tough just to find the ball on this kickoff. Whitaker couldn't find it. I don't think you can see the ball until it's about 15 or 20 yards from him. Mark, this is northeast weather. This is not down in the south in Louisiana.
Usually see the likes of this kind of snow. The ball on the Texas A&M 25-yard line. Joe Weber alone back on first down and 10. 3 wide out formation. Ferris rears back. Almost picked off. It was underthrown. Marco Minor almost picked it off for Mississippi State, but there's a flag on the play. That pass by Ferris really hung up there. Interference against the defense, and back to Reese in the studio.
Right, Mark, in the Silicon Valley Classic, Air Force had that huge lead at the half, 34-7, third quarter. Fresno showing a little pride. David Carr, Alec Greco had 3 touchdowns in the regular season. It's now a 20-point game.
Kind of envious. Looks warm there, Gino.
It is nice in Northern California. Talked to my family, wished them a happy new year today back home, and they were all very pleased. It's about in the 70s in Northern California.
Up in Toronto, Canada, where Hugh and Marjorie Jones are watching. I'd like to wish them a happy new year. 14-7 for the Aggies. First down and 10. Texas A&M with the ball on their own 40-yard line. Jamar Toombs, the lone back. Toombs breaks 1 tackle. Right there, you see and capture the essence. You cut through to the soul of Jamar Toombs. He breaks tackles, give you a lot of yards, Gino, after the initial contact. Have a look.
And they ran the exact same formation, the wide receiver motion, the fake reverse, handoff to Toombs, and the first guy that hits Toombs is never going to take him down.
Galladay made the tackle. Second down and 3 from the Aggie 47. Toombs over the right side. Lucky to get maybe a yard that time. Let's go downstairs to Rob Stone.
We're joined now by Paul Donahue, the president of the Sanford Corporation, and I'm sensing this is a Sanford Independence Bowl you won't soon forget.
This is incredible, Rob. You know, of course, we're getting all the blame being from Chicago. This is an everyday occurrence for us, so we're taking all the heat that we brought the snow with us. But, hey, we love it. It's a great night and a great event, and what better way to bring in the new year than a little snowstorm.
And it's not just you from the Sanford Corporation. You got a lot of other employees who are down here enjoying this winter wonderland.
We've got about 500 of our associates up in these stands that are covered in snow, and they're having a blast, and we're happy to be here, and we're looking forward to a great New Year's Eve.
Hey, we appreciate your time. Thank you.
Absolutely, Rob. Thank you.
All right, thank you, guys. Blade making the tackle that time on Joe Weber. Birdsong also in on the stop. And it'll be 4th down for the Aggies.
What do you think, Mark? If we do a count on those 500 associates in the stands, you think there'll be 500 up there?
They either have blankets or they're in the warm part above us.
Actually, they're from Chicago, and they may be the only people in the stands that are dressed and brought the appropriate clothing for this weather.
Skates punting to Larry Huntington. Low line drive spiral. And Huntington's knee touched down at the 15-yard line. As the snow continues. The Weather Service said that it was going to hit about 6 o'clock Central Time. We're about 10 minutes late. We'll be right back.
An absolutely great world-class car just got better.
Thanks to this incredible offer. Right now, qualified buyers can put 0 down, get 0% financing, and 0 payments for 12 months. No payments for 12 months on any new 2000 or 2001 Olds at Jim Muir Oldsmobile on Van Dyke at 19 Mile.
Jump in your wheels and go to Van Dyke at 19 Mile and Sterling Heights. Not too many things in the world endure, but a Jim Muir deal, well, that's for sure.
Extra, extra! It's Mr. Allen's 20% off after Christmas sale.
Extra 20% off.
Mr. Allen's entire stock. Echo, Fat Farm, Timberland Classic.
Extra 20% off.
Here's Fleece-Up Jeans. Designer sweaters or Kangol jeans, $23.99.
Extra 20% off.
Maurice Malone tops or jeans or bubble coats, now $31.99. Leather coats, now $55.99.
Extra 20% off.
Men's insulated or Stacey Allen's boots, $23.99.
I must be out of my mind.
It's 20% off after Christmas sale, only at Mr. Allen's.
That's me.
Tomorrow on ESPN at 6:30 Sports Center, at 7 Rock and Roll Gymnastics, at 9 the Dance Sport World Championship, and at 11 Sports Center. On ESPN2 at 8:30 Sports Century's Top 3, Ali, The Babe, and MJ, and at 10 the World's Strongest Man competition, plus The Bottom Line. And on ESPN Classic at 7, Classic Sports Reporters. At 8, a profile of Niall Kinnick. And at 9, McGuire beats Maris's record with number 62. Do you have all the ESPN networks?
Back in Shreveport in Louisiana, it's the type of night that you wouldn't even send a dog out on, you know.
He's a dog from the South. He's not used to this. I don't know where they found that dog to kill for him. But look at the depth of the snow on the field. It's accumulating down there because it is really coming down. And there's no signs of let up.
You don't need a bulldog in this kind of weather. You need a husky. Walker and Griffith in the backfield out of the eye. You see the backs and the receivers and quarterback Wayne Matkin all trying to get their footing before the play. 1st and 10, Bulldogs trail by 7. Ball on their own 14. Toss and trying to get to the edge is Walker, who scored the last touchdown. Folks, don't forget, an intrastate rivalry between Miami and Florida on the Nokia Sugar Bowl. That's January 2nd, the day after tomorrow, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific. And boy, you know, they had a little punch-up, little dust-up Gino Torretta in the streets down on Bourbon Street just recently, and not sure who started it, but one thing's for certain, it's going to heat that rivalry up a little bit.
The rivalry is back. We haven't played Florida. Miami hasn't since 1987, and I will be on a plane tomorrow to go root my boys on.
A little Freudian slip, huh? There's Walker again, running between the tackles. Tough running by Dante Walker. Came into this game averaging a little over 72 per contest. Anthony and Bradley making the tackle that time. A 1st down and 10 for the Bulldogs.
There's the footing. A little bit of slip out of the backfield by Dante Walker, but able to regain his balance. And to be honest with you, Mississippi State's starting to come back, and it's all now they're getting the center quarterback exchange down.
Haven't seen any fumbles in quite some time now. Tubbs in motion. Walker keeps his footing, breaks a couple tackles, and out near midfield is Dante Walker. Walker's had a better time of it than DeCenzo Miller, brought down by Keel on the play. But Walker seems to stay up a little better than Miller in this weather.
And watch Walker takes that. He breaks the tackle by the end, Evan Peroni, and he's off to the races. There's a nice little stiff arm at the end of this run. There you see the slide. You think he was safe going in the second?
Ball right at midfield. Players on both sides. The seniors on both sides especially. Well, this is a game they won't soon forget. Tubbs in motion to the top of your screen. Ball at midfield. On 1st and 10, Walker hammering ahead. Tough running, tough sledding. Gaining about 4 yards. Dante Walker, a 5'10 sophomore, tackled by Gamble on the play, and he comes out.
Mark, with
well-deserved rest.
With the success both of these teams have had, they have big, strong tailbacks. They're tough to bring down. I don't know if I'd even throw the ball.
Our football so far from both teams. Griffith and Miller lining up out of the eye. Traction and footing becoming paramount here. Play fake. Madkin has one dropped on him. The tight end, Donald Lee, should have caught that and comes up with a face full of the white stuff.
And we saw what the snow did right there to the tight end. It's awful tough to catch the ball, but look at the footing. There you see everybody trying to get the snow off their feet, but the players not used to this. Both of these schools from down in the south, they're not used to playing, one, on this artificial surface, but two, with the snow falling as hard as it is and accumulating on this field.
Gino, I wonder how many of these receivers now and backs have gone to gloves. 3rd down and 6. Straight ahead is DeCenzo Miller. Gaining maybe 2. The clock running as we approach 4 minutes to go in the first half of play.
And Mark, this here, they may go for it on 4th down. It almost turns every situation. If you have the ball with good field position around midfield, I think you got to go for it in 4th and short.
And Westerfield's long is just 43 yards. So Jackie Sherrill elects to go with the punting unit this time. Although, as you mentioned, this usually is a good part of the field for 4-down territory. The ball on the Texas A&M 42.
And here he's trying to play a field position game, try to pin Texas A&M back in their own end.
And the play clock winds down to 0 for Mississippi State. Prentice Cole has put 16 punts inside the 20-yard line. The last time he punted had a penalty. So their gunners on special teams knocked over the returner, which of course is a no-no. Mark Jones, Gino Torretta, and Rob Stone down on the sidelines.
And lots of dedicated fans sitting here watching this in the snow.
And this the 25th edition of the Independence Bowl. Cole doesn't aim for the sidelines. And this one will be downed inside the 10. His 17th of the season inside the 20-yard line. Nice bit of pooch punting and special teams by Prentice Cole. The theme of the night, slip slide away. Safe when we come back.
The Suzuki King Quad is the only all-terrain vehicle that has a 3-speed sub-transmission and locking front differential that allows you to transfer power equally to all 4 wheels to get you where you need to go. I'm coming!
Almost lost you there.
The King Quad from Suzuki.
1-800-COLLECT presents Ava Save-A-Lot.
Nice 540.
Thanks, but my change fell out and I need to make a call.
Change? Just dial 1-800-COLLECT.
That saves at least $1 or $2, right?
Oh, it saves a lot.
I gotta remember that.
Dude, it's cake. For a collect call, dial 1-800-COLLECT.
You could remember that doing a goofy-footed double fakey ollie grind.
Okay, I'll try.
Or maybe not.
1-800-COLLECT. Save $1 or $2.
Well, the inclement weather hasn't dampened the enthusiasm of the fans here at the Sanford Independence Bowl. R.C. Slocum, the former defensive coordinator for Jackie Sherrill. You know, Slocum talked about it, says Jackie was always very supportive of me when I was his defensive coordinator, and when he moved me to assistant head coach, he recommended me for the job, the head coaching job, and he's always been grateful for that. RC has. Good relationship between the two of them. Many members of the media trying to build it up with animosity, but it simply is not like that, Gino.
No, both these coaches very respectful of what they've done at their programs. And I'm sure they had some great times together coaching. Look at the yardage for Texas A&M, and it's all Jamar Toombs.
14 rushes, 93 yards, and a touchdown. The Aggies pinned at their own 5-yard line after that punt. Toombs again brought down, and let's check in with Reese Davis, see what's happening at halftime.
All right, Mark, not to rub it in or anything, but we'll check in Miami, where the College Game Day gang is. They're waiting on Oklahoma and Florida State. We'll also look ahead to what we'll kick off the Outback Bowl with in the day of bowls tomorrow and the NFL Wild Card Weekend. That's all coming up at the half.
All right. Yeah, you had to rub it in. Although it is a,
it's chilly down there in Miami right now. I think it's in the 50s down there, so not all that hot down there. A little bit hotter than the snow here, though.
Yeah, it's not golf weather here anyway. This is Richard Whitaker, brought down after a gain of about 2. And you know, the two coaches are very competitive, Slocum and Sherrill. And when it comes to golf, well, here's what RC had to say.
Time we played, I won, and it'll kill him for me to say this on television, but I won. We played in Phoenix. We were at a function with the Fiesta Bowl. We played, and I won. Last time we played. Now, if we go into winning percentage, I'd be way down the pole.
RC wearing it like a badge of honor, Gino.
And he made it a point. He said, hey, Jackie's one of the few guys, he likes counting all those strokes every round. You know, us other coaches, we just go out and have some fun every so often playing golf.
Coach Sherrill is the one that keeps score. Ferris to pass. Brought down. Is it a safety? Not quite. Inches outside of his own end zone. The sack by Mario Hagan, right there, number 98. The big sophomore who lost 30 pounds since his freshman year has tons of ability.
And Hagan, look at this. Ferris nowhere to go with the football. His protection breaks down. Look at, there's the goal line. He is back in the end zone. Hagan's got him in the grasp, and Ferris does a good job diving out of the end zone, keeping the ball out and avoiding the safety. But Mississippi State, because that's going to come up with great field position, Mark.
With just 1:31 left in the first half. Mississippi State, though, Gino, out of timeouts. Cody Skates punting in the shadows of his own goalposts.
And Mark, they're out of timeouts because early on, bowl games, his team has taken a month off. They had a special teams foul up. They didn't have the right personnel on a punt team. And now it may come back to haunt them. Here they have a minute 31. They're going to get the ball going in great field position with a timeout or two that really would extend this minute 31, but they don't have it.
Hindsight always 20/20, unfortunately, if you're Mississippi State.
And especially you have to keep the ball on the ground in these conditions.
You look at the A&M players all trying to get their footing because they know, well, they're thinking, maybe contemplating that the Bulldogs are going to come after them on this one. Both sides digging in the trenches.
Partially blocked.
Heavy pressure, and someone may have got a bit of it. Huntington in the middle of the field gives the Bulldogs tremendously good field position.
And the Mississippi State punt block team had great pressure up the middle and partially blocked this football. Watch the pressure up the middle. You see there you see just a hand come out of the left side of the screen.
Sean Birdsong may have gotten a bit. And the punter Skates. He's live. He's in play.
A little bit of frustration trying to get down there and get in the middle of it, scrapping around a little bit.
1st and 10 from the 21-yard line, the Aggies' 21-yard line for Mississippi State. Matkin on the quarterback draw. Nice gain. Close to a first down. Tackled by Bradley and Terrence Keel. They've got that center exchange worked out.
And look at the snow that's fallen. There's hardly any. That's just the start of the game. Here's now almost at halftime. Plenty of snow accumulating. But Mississippi State, now they get the center quarterback exchange worked out. They empty the backfield right there, Mark, and went back to the quarterback draw.
Adkin, a very proficient runner. 1st and goal. Nice catch by number 85 on the play. That is Harold Lindsey, who laid out and made a great grab. He was working on Jay Brooks, the corner.
And Wayne Madkin puts this ball right on the sideline. But watch Lindsey come up with this catch and get his feet down and drag him inbounds. I think that's inbounds, don't you? You can't really tell what that sideline is.
Snow accumulating on the brim of Jackie Sherrill. 2nd down and 3 to go.
An empty backfield again, Mark. Look out for the quarterback draw behind Fair, the center.
4 yards shy of the end zone. Complete to Miller. Touchdown Bulldogs. A little screen on the pass. And they are 1 point away from tying this ball game up. Under a minute to play in the 1st half. It was all set up by the good field position after the punt.
And then they went the quarterback draw to Madkin, showed us he can run with it. And then what does he do here? In these terrible conditions, gets the center, throws a little wide receiver screen. Actually, it's a running back screen to DeCenzo Miller, lined up in the wide receiver slot. And the right tackle, Kendrick Fairchild, does a good job of blocking and breaking a hole open for him.
Westerfield in for the extra point. With 54 seconds to go. The holder on this play is the guy that just scored the touchdown, DeCenzo Miller, starting tailback. And we have a tie ball game with 54 seconds to play. Not often you see the tailback, the holder, on extra points. 3 plays, 21 yards on that drive, using up half a minute on the clock. And we have a tie ball game.
So much for me not saying they didn't have enough time on the clock to go down and score. They did a good job, picked up the 1st down. The clock stops. But let's take a look at the touchdown here. Here you see Miller. He's going to line up as a running back, but in the slot, takes 1 step up, just a wide receiver screen. There's the block, and look at the lane. Clear sailing, and the official, I think, is taking care of that last Texas A&M defender and not letting him get over and make the tackle.
All part of the playing field. DeCenzo Miller with 11 touchdowns on the season. Mississippi State now with 14 unanswered points. Answering after that Texas A&M early 14-0 lead. The 25th edition of the Independence Bowl here in Shreveport. Temperature with the wind chill at about 10 degrees Fahrenheit.
And Mark, they had in the paper today all the memorable moments over the last 25 years. I think this game has to jump up close to the top just because of the conditions here today.
Oh yeah, this will be destined to be a storied chapter included in the past. I'm sure at halftime they'll do their best to take some of the snow off the field. How's he ball off the tee? He's going to kick it that side. Wow.
He missed it.
He whiffed.
He missed it. Great field position.
Not quite sure why they elected to kick it without using the tee. But as a result, Texas A&M with timeouts remaining.
And De La Torre, the backup tight end, recovered this. Look at the ball's not even on the tee. They try to kick it, just completely miss the ball. Look, there you see the tee and the ball next to it. And the kicker just completely misses it. And De La Torre, the third team tight end, comes up with that ball.
Didn't even go 10 yards, Gino.
And don't forget, Texas A&M has their full complement of timeouts. They have 3 timeouts left, a minute to go in the ball game. I got to say, Mark, I'm putting my big backs back in the backfield. Jones and Toombs, the tailback, and see if we can hammer it home.
54 seconds left in the first half. No mulligans on the kickoff. Ferris going up top. Touchdown, Ferguson.
And what do? Hey, I thought they'd go to Toombs running it, but a great call with the play action by the offensive coordinator, Steve Cragthorpe, but all set up by a botched kickoff attempt. Not on the tee. They go for the field goal, and De La Torre, the tight end, jumps on the ball. He's very aware. Here's the tight end, Ferguson, or the wide receiver going down the sidelines. You see the defender slip. Ferguson does a great job of just catching the ball. And Ferris is saying, hey, that's not the best throw in the world under these conditions, but heck, it's a touchdown.
Ferguson, who missed the season finale with injuries, coming back to score that touchdown for A&M. And that is the kicker, John Michael Marlin, who whiffed. Would have loved to have taken a mulligan on that kickoff, but instead it set up Texas A&M's touchdown. Aggies meanwhile call a timeout with only 10 men on the field for the extra point.
I'm not sure what the kicker was thinking there, why he didn't just put the ball back up on the tee.
Back in the snow in just a few, 20-14 when we return.
How would you like to work with molecular biologists designing genetically improved crops, or use remote sensing technology to manage Earth's resources from space? You could even help design the next generation of aircraft and submarines, learning and working in the only National Science Foundation Engineering Research Center focused on supercomputing. You can do it all at Mississippi State, a national research university preparing leaders for the 21st century.
Back in Shreveport, Louisiana, after the extra point. Ferris was big on that last completion to Ferguson. Before that 42-yard pass, he was 2 for 3. And he missed the extra point. Kitchens misses the extra point. So the lead is 6 as opposed to 7. As I intimated earlier, you can't take anything for granted in the kicking game in this kind of inclement weather. The block, courtesy of Mississippi State.
And Willie Blade able to get his hand on the ball. He was a semifinalist for the Outland Award, does a great job penetrating that middle and blocking the extra point. It's early in the game, but who knows? Every point counts.
Jackie Sherrill, the winningest coach at Mississippi State in the school's history. This is his 10th season. Looking for their consecutive bowl win, second consecutive bowl win. And that last score of Texas A&M starting with the Marlin whiff. That ball went about 7 yards. Then the very next play, Ferris drops back, and 42 yards later, Robert Ferguson making a nice little adjustment on the ball here. But, you know, you've often told me that the dangerous pass, the most dangerous one, is the underthrown deep ball, and then the partial block by Mississippi State on the extra point.
And really the underthrown takeoff route is very hard to defend, especially in these field conditions, because it's slippery. We saw the defender. He had great coverage on Ferguson, not able to sustain his footing. The ball just falls right into Ferguson's arms.
Meanwhile, Texas A&M maybe haven't learned a lesson from the Mississippi State miscue using the tee on the kickoff. Cody Skates to kick off. And he squibs it. This is Huntington. Huntington tiptoeing his way down the sidelines in good field position, but there's a flag down in the play. Skates, the kicker, making the tackle. Mississippi State is out of timeouts.
There's a flag on the play.
See what this flag is about. One more look at that nice kick return by Huntington.
And if play will stand, it's offsides on the kicking team, Mark.
The penalty, of course, declined by the Bulldogs. So with 36 seconds remaining in the first half, Bulldogs trailing by 6. They have the ball in Texas A&M territory.
And last drive, they scored in 31 from about the same position.
Ball is on the Aggie 36-yard line after that 42-yard return by Huntington. We've already seen a couple of touchdowns in the last minute. The Bulldogs do have the wind at their back should they elect a field goal at the end of this drive. Atkin to pass. And losing valuable yardage on the sack. Ron Edwards providing the pressure for the Wrecking Crew defense. Don't forget, coming up next on the Dodge Halftime Report in just a few moments, news from the Orange Bowl, the Outback Bowl preview, and action from the NFL playoff seed. Mississippi State, no timeouts remaining. It took a long time to get that play off. Complete to Miller. Senzo Miller lunges forward, slipping and sliding down to the 20, brought down by Cornelius Anthony. An angel in the snow? Not quite. We're going to go back to the studio. 20-14 at halftime. Even through the snow. Yes, we have had offensive fireworks despite the inclement weather and the driving snowstorm. 20-14 at halftime. These two teams haven't met in over 60 years. A little more of a bit of history for you. Mississippi State played the first ever game here at Independence Stadium. Then it was a different name, of course. That was 50 years ago, and I'm sure that they didn't see this kind of weather, Gino Toretto.
And lots of fumble snaps early in the ball game, slips and slides. But I tell you what, they're averaging gaudy numbers running the football. Dante Walker, Mississippi State's tailback, over 11 yards per carry, and the big fullback Jamar Toombs rushing the football over 6 yards a carry. But the one foul up on special teams leads to the big play by Robert Ferguson.
And that was probably the, well, most dominant and telling play of the first half, the whiff by Marlin, the place kicker. But let's go back to the first quarter. It all started, one of the big stories, of course, was the problems with the exchange at center for Mississippi State. They got that worked out, and that led to some of their offensive success.
And as soon as they got it worked out, hey, they've been having success running the football. Texas A&M only had 5 first downs in that first half, but they have a 6-point lead.
The Aggies field the kickoff, and let's go downstairs to Rob Stone.
Well, Texas A&M on the offense first the second half. R.C. Slocum told me, hey, you know, we feel our wide receivers have an advantage in this type of weather, so look for them to start throwing a little bit more. Spoke with Jackie Sherrill just as he came out a moment ago. I said, Coach, what happened with the kick and not using the tee? He said, Rob, I had no idea. My place kicker, it was his decision not to use the tee. Coach Sherrill wanted the squib kick down to 15 or 20. One other note about the conditions. Both bands played at halftime, so the field had not been cleaned except for about the last 30 seconds, so hardly any, if any, headway was made as far as cleaning out this field. And the snow, yes, is still coming down.
All right, Rob, yeah, you can see the track where the Texas A&M band cleared out a little bit right down the middle of the field. 1st and 10 for the Aggies. First play of the second half, and this Bulldog defense is fired up. Richard Whitaker stopped up immediately by Willie Blade. Take a look at the first half statistics. Mississippi State offensively with the edge, but not on the scoreboard, Gino.
Scoreboard, and it all comes down to the special teams, the foul up on the whiff kick, and then the big throw by Mark Ferris to his top wideout, Ferguson.
Mississippi State with the edge in time of possession, which was something that they wanted to accomplish, but it really hasn't accomplished much in terms of the score on the board.
And despite the weather, it's been a game of big plays, and they've been made on the ground, and Texas A&M coming up with the only big play through the air.
Ball on the A&M 11-yard line. On second down, Ferris the throw. Completes it to Joe Weber, who got those feet down in bounds. And he is close to the first down marker. Weber, the 6-foot sophomore, now coming out of the game. Rushed for over 400 yards this year. Big game against Iowa State. Ran 20 times for 106 yards. 3rd down and 9.
All wide receivers, Mark, only one back in the backfield.
Whitaker on the handoff. He fumbles it. The Bulldogs have it. A miscue by the Aggies, and Mario Hagan, the linebacker, recovers the loose pill. Now the Bulldogs have good field position. One more look. Whitaker with nobody around him, never really had a handle on it, and Hagan capitalizes.
A pen that's smooth from start to finish. Now that's amazing. Uniball. Smooth. Real smooth.
Yes. One more time, but this time I'm serious.
Sure, let's play for $1.
I'm not that serious.
Guys, $1 isn't serious.
Then you must not know about 10-10-220.
Remind me. Dial 10-10-220. All calls up to 20 minutes, 99 cents.
Heck, just 7 cents a minute after that.
There's got to be a monthly fee.
No.
In that case, I'll shoot for $1.
Can you do that?
Too short.
Dial 10-10-220.
Looks like we're going to be brown bagging it for a while.
Sonic's Brown Bag Special is just what you need after the holidays. Take home 2 made-to-order Sonic burgers, 2 large orders of crispy fries or tater tots, even 2 Sonic drinks. It's the only combo meal for 2, now for a special low price. Hurry in and see how much fun brown bagging it can be. Bite into the Sonic snack with a kick. Try our cheddar peppers for only 99 cents.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of the 2000 Sanford Independence Bowl is presented by Boise. Call Boise for office supplies, furniture, computer products, and business services. And in part by Chrysler. We're reinventing the passion for driving. And by Red Zone from Old Spice. Intense protection for intense people.
Another miscue on the snap. And Mississippi State recovering its own fumble. Matkin getting back the ball. Second down, they'll lose some crucial yardage. Each team with 1 turnover in the game so far. Barry O'Hagan just recovering a fumble from Mississippi State moments ago, deep in Texas A&M territory.
Both teams turning it over and giving the opponent great field position, Mark.
Second down and 15. Deep in Aggie territory. To the corner. It's DeCenzo Miller, roughed up out of bounds. Cornelius Anthony couldn't stop his momentum, and there's a late flag, which might be roughing.
I tell you what, it's going to be a late hit on Cornelius Anthony, but I don't know if you can call this. I'm not sure, Mark, that Anthony even sees the sidelines. He's trying to knock the running back, DeCenzo Miller, out of bounds, and I'm not sure he even sees where the out-of-bounds marker, or can he even keep his feet to pull off of Miller and not hit him.
We went through a situation like this a little over a month ago at a game in Colorado Springs, an Air Force game, and it is difficult to see the boundaries. You can't see the sidelines except for maybe the pylons in the end zone. And neither can the players. You think you have the sideline as an extra man defensively when you really don't. First and goal nonetheless. Ball on the Texas A&M 5. Just short, inches from the goal line. Hard running by DeCenzo Miller behind the big uglies up front.
And Porkchop saying, hey, run at my side. Look at him, just wall off the left side of the line. He's not letting his man get anywhere near the play. And Porkchop saying, hey, coach, I'm back. Run at my side. I'm not sure these officials could even see the goal line for his score.
From the A&M 1, second and goal. Dante Walker, still no signal. They're not going to give it to him. It'll be third down and goal to go. The wrecking crew bracing its back collectively.
Look at Porkchop getting in there and getting low, trying to get his pads down. And Miller tries to follow him, but the Texas A&M defense does a great job of penetrating, getting to his feet, and not letting him drive his legs and dive in for the score.
Porkchop making pancakes. It's third and goal. A pancake block right there. Full house backfield. That time they got in. Walker. And we are knotted at 20 apiece. Dante Walker with his second touchdown of the ball game.
And Mark, who's in behind? The left side, and Porkchop Womack getting down low and giving Miller enough to get in for the end zone. And there you see the official saying, hey, I'm not sure I can see the line, but it looks to me like it's 6 points.
The rim of Jackie Sherrill's cap is now clear. No doubt a function at halftime. We're tied at 20. Remember, the reason why we're tied is because the extra point was missed by Texas A&M at the end of the first half. This is Scott Westerfield. He hits this one through. And Mississippi State has its first lead of the night. Through the snow and through the uprights is Scott Westerfield, giving the Bulldogs a 1-point advantage.
Bold, smooth writing ink. Now easily erases. Presenting new Papermate Eraser Dot Max. It's like having your own personal delete key. Papermate, at the heart of communication.
People are beginning to think of the automobile not just as a family vehicle, but as a personal and individual means of transportation.
The throb of a powerful engine.
Now for a moment, imagine yourself.
In order to continue moving forward, you need to remember where you've been.
At the Chrysler Proving Ground, give them an expressway, and their drivers are... I think we made the scenic back roads. I'll give them than any country or suburban road. Rough or smooth. They're the type of people who like the feel of a fine machine.
Our future reflects our past. It's how we build great cars.
The sounds of nature sing their prettiest over the rich, throaty obligato of his engine. And they give you back the romance of driving.
Expectations run high in this family. And now Chrysler PT Cruiser is Motor Trend's 2001 Car of the Year.
When you have a cold, even small tasks are a big pain. So get Dayquil, the daytime non-drowsy, congested, stuffy head, sore throat, coughing, aching, fever, so you can get back your day medicine from the makers of NyQuil.
Ohio State strong-arm Steve Bellisari duels with South Carolina's Phil Petty and the Gamecocks. South Carolina versus Ohio State, New Year's Day at 11 on ESPN.
ESPN's exclusive presentation at 2000 Sanford Independence Bowl is presented by Red Zone from Old Spice. Intense protection for intense people. And it is intense, especially pork chop Womack. Let's go downstairs to Rob.
Well, I'm sure Pork Chop could eat 1 or 12 pork chops, but that's not how he earned his name. Growing up in Memphis, Tennessee, his dad was a boxer, so his family spent a lot of time in the gymnasium. His mom happened to be a fan of professional wrestling, and, you know, really, who isn't? So she named Pork Chop, or at least nicknamed him, after a local wrestler called Pork Chop Cash, because she thought the two of them resembled one another. That's it. I have no pork chop jokes, no nothing else. I'll send it back up to T-Bone and Hambone, though.
Hey, thank you, Rob. Thanks for the handle, baby. Amazing. Pork Chop was telling me he was just 7.5 pounds at birth. You'd think he'd be bigger, a guy that size.
We talked about his stress fractures, and they were because he was running 2.5 miles on his own to try to keep his weight down.
This is Dwayne Goins. Coming across the field, Goins brought down near the 30. We talked about Pork Chop. You know, his real name is Floyd, but Michael Fair had this to say about the various nicknames.
Pork Chop Pig be enough for any team, I believe. We don't need any more. No, I don't really have one. I'm not named after a piece of meat up there like those guys.
The pig that Michael Fair was referring to is Pig Prather, who is injured. He blew out his knee, unable to play in this game. A vital part of their secondary on defense for Mississippi State. I kind of like Hambone Toretta.
You like that?
Yeah, that works for me. Ball into Texas A&M 29, and Jamar Toombs gains about 3 on first down. Toombs has been the most effective player offensively for the Aggies, brought down by Ellis Wims that time. He scored 14 touchdowns this season out of Kilgore, Texas. A big game against Oklahoma in that near miss. A 4-point loss by the Aggies to the Sooners. Third quarter just underway. Mississippi State scoring to take a 1-point lead, their first of the night. They run it between the tackles again. Joe Weber plowing forward. He's about 5 yards shy of the first down. They have 4 backs that see a lot of action. Galladay making the stop. Whitaker, Weber, Toombs, and Jones.
And Mark, the last few plays, Texas A&M has been running the ball at the right-hand side of their line. But really the strength is the left-hand side with Tango McCauley, their tackle, and Chris Valletta, their left guard. If I'm A&M, I'm running over my bread and butter on the left side of the line.
3rd down and 6 from the 34. Toombs, the first man through, still on his feet. A first down near midfield for Jamar Toombs, brought down by the free safety Josh Morgan. Pretty simple game plan if you're Texas A&M in this weather, especially, Gino. And a good one, too.
And, Mark, take a look at this. Watch the left-hand side of the line here. The center guard, they all seal, give a great block on Mario Hagan there by the fullback, and Toombs is off, picks up a big first down. Big key up front on that offensive line is number 77, the center. He made a key block there. His 38th straight start. He's been solid his whole career here, Mark.
Seth McKinney is the guy we're talking about. That is Jamar Toombs running over McKinney and Valletta. McKinney, number 77. His brother Steve plays offensive guard for the Indianapolis Colts. He's first team All Big 12. There's a look at him.
Watch him come off the ball on their top defender. Look at him get up in the linebacker. He gets on Hagan, their top defender for Mississippi State. He's very active at 6'3", 290. And coaches say, hey, he'll play with pain. We got to just drag him off the field if he's injured. He never wants to come out of the ball game.
Ball to 47. Looks like a busted play. Ferris using some of his running skills, acquired no doubt in part from his baseball career, scrambling and sliding safely. Not a hook slide, head first that time. Blade making the stop.
A&M has run this fake reverse probably about 6 or 7 times earlier. The one time they want to go with the reverse, Ferris lets the motion get too far across the field, and the handoff, he misses the handoff, but a great job of improvising. And I tell you what, that's all set up because of this field. He has no chance to do that if this field is not icy.
4 of 9 in third down situations, and what a hit. Immediately, Willie Blade swarms and smothers the Aggie running attack led by Toombs. Jamar Toombs was stopped up behind the line of scrimmage. Blade knifing through.
Willie Blade just knifes through the line of scrimmage. There he is. He takes on the best lineman for this A&M ball club, Seth McKinney, the center. Just a quick swim move. Gets right into the backfield, gives Toombs nowhere to go with the football. Coaches talk about Willie Blade. Hey, he was a semifinalist for the Outland once again. He had a back injury a couple days ago, and Jolie Dunn said, I think it just came out of the blue. I think he was just doing it to get out of practice. Obviously, he's healthy here tonight.
Cody skates into punt for the Aggies. Flag down. The play clock the issue.
Reset the 25-second clock. There is no flag for delay. 4th down.
Larry Huntington is standing planted on his own 10 for Mississippi State. R.C. Slocum, his 12th year as head coach at Texas A&M, the one-time defensive coordinator for Jackie Sherrill. Not sure about the wisdom of Huntington fielding that punt inside the 10-yard line. Damon Simon making the tackle that time for the Aggies after that 34-yard punt. First down and 10 for the Bulldogs. They have a 1-point lead. I'm Mark Jones along with Gino Torretta and Rob Stone in the snow in Shreveport, Louisiana. Named in part after Henry Miller Shreve, an old steamboat captain back in the 1830s. And Sherrill trying to put a little steam into his offense. First down and 10 on their own 15-yard line. Vincenzo Miller and Kenny Williamson, the backs. Miller barely, and I mean barely, got back to the line of scrimmage. Stopped by Anthony.
And Miller took that handoff, and he was just staring Ronald Flemings, the end, right in the face. He really had nowhere to go. A good job by the A&M defense of not getting Vincenzo Miller anywhere to go with the ball, even a cutback lane.
Second and 10, ball still on the 15-yard line. Toss into the boundary to Miller. Gets to the edge. Nice gain. Brought out of bounds by Torrance Keel. And he is right at the first down marker.
And Mark, credit the quarterback, Wayne Madkin there. Texas A&M came up with an all-out blitz. He saw it and said, hey, we're going to throw the toss to the outside. Picks up the first down.
First down and 10 for the Bulldogs. Ball on the Bulldog 25-yard line. Wayne Madkin has gone the distance despite that severe sinus condition that he has had the entire week, causing him to miss practice and all. Gain of about 4 that time by DeCenzo Miller. Don't forget, coming up on ABC, January 3rd, the national championship game. Number 1 Oklahoma against number 2 Florida State. That's 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 5 Pacific on ABC. Who do you like in that game, Gino?
I just think I like Florida State in that game. They have a lot of talent. Look at Pork Chop just dominating this guy.
Royland Bradley having a tough time escaping the big fella. Ball on the 30-yard line, 2nd down and 6. Miller hog-tied that time. 94, Ty Warren. Warren started 8 games at defensive end this year for the Aggies. He's tied for the team lead coming into this contest with 16 tackles for loss. Nice aggressive play there.
Here you see the offensive line once again. The left guard, Courtney Lee, pulls around and able to get a lead block for Miller. Or excuse me, that's Kyle Wallace, actually the backup left guard. He rotates in with Courtney Lee, the starter.
3rd down and 2 from the Bulldog 33 for Mississippi State. Aggies come with a blitz, and they almost get to Madkin, an incomplete pass.
They got to him enough to get his face mask there, Mark. That's going to be a late face mask. Going to be a 5-yard penalty and a 1st down.
Cornelius Anthony in on the pressure that time.
Personal foul. It's going to be a 15-yard face mask penalty.
Got a good hold of it that time.
You see the blitz, tries to get over the block of the running back, Justin Griffith. He does, but comes up with face mask of Wayne Madkin. That's a big play, 15 yards and a 1st down.
Keeps the drive alive for the Bulldogs with 5:20 to play in the 3rd quarter. R.C. Slocum's team trailing by 1 point. They led 14-0 at one point early in the 1st half.
And Mark, this has been an impressive outing so far for Mississippi State. This is a Texas A&M defense that only gives up on average 17.8 points a game. They're number 2 in their conference in the Big 12, and they have given the A&M defense fits. They've been able to run the ball really right down their throats.
Yeah, they are a running team, the Bulldogs are, averaging 194 yards on the ground per game. Near midfield at the Mississippi State 48, 1st down and 10. Play fake by Madkin. Incomplete, intended for Clarence Parker. Meanwhile, Justin Jenkins was downfield on the post pattern. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Ball from the 48-yard line of Mississippi State. Checking at the line. Checks them into a handoff to the fullback, Justin Griffith. Gets maybe 2. It'll be 3rd down. About 8 to go for Mississippi State.
And look for Mississippi State to really start exploiting this interior of the defensive line for A&M. Ron Edwards, we just got word. He has a broken hand. He's not in the game right now. And Stephen Young, he's a quality backup and his backup, but really the coaches even felt, Mike Hankwitz, the defensive coordinator for A&M, we need Edwards to have a great game today.
And there's that thing.
There you see the club on his left hand.
3rd and 7 for the Bulldogs. And Wayne Madkin calls timeout. Their first one here in the 2nd half, and you'd think they'd be a little more judicious about using them this half. It cost them in the 1st half. We'll be right back.
Arm strength, quickness, agility, and body control. The essential elements of the winning defensive baseball player. And with Coach Emanski's Defensive Drills video, you'll learn the amazing training secrets of America's finest baseball school. The Defensive Drills video features revolutionary training techniques developed by professional scout and instructor Tom Emanski. Techniques that get results, producing baseball world's back-to-back-to-back AAU national championship teams and even a gold medal in international competition. In a recent review, Collegiate Baseball Magazine exclaimed, with Coach Emanski's techniques, the future of baseball is here today. Even top professional players are impressed. Just ask Major League superstar Fred McGriff.
I'm so impressed with the instructional videos by Coach Emanski that I've given them my full endorsement. When you watch them, you'll know why.
The Defensive Drills video is available now for immediate shipping. It makes a great gift and benefits players of all ages and ability levels. To order your copy, call toll-free 1-800-544-1000. That's 1-800-544-1000. Call now.
Every Sunday, ESPN Classic reminds you why some of the greatest names in sports never made the Hall of Fame. Newman, De Niro, Murray. Hollywood's biggest films and its heaviest hitters. Real classics. Premieres Sunday, January 7th at 9 on ESPN Classic. To get ESPN Classic, call 1-800-CLASSIC today.
Texas A&M Aggies, and on behalf of myself and all the rest of the team, I'd like to wish everybody a Happy New Year.
On behalf of Texas A&M University, our coaching staff and players, we'd like to wish all of you a very Happy New Year.
Greetings from Richard Copeland Slocum and downstairs to Rob Stone.
Quick update on Ron Edwards. He did indeed break his left hand, but he went in the locker room, had a cast put on. He's hoping to come back in the game. Take a look right there. That's Terrence Kitchens, the kicker for A&M. He's got a bag wrapped around his kicking foot, and he's keeping it warm and keeping his legs warm. He's hanging by that heater the whole time. I said, hey, those big linemen, they get mad at you hanging by those heaters the whole time. Like, nah, they know I got to keep it loose. Now, Gino, I want no wise comments from you about kickers right now.
Matkin on the receiver screen. Miller breaks a couple of tackles. Finally tackled. Gains about 5 on the play. Brought down by number 99, Roland Flemings. Terrence Keel, the strong safety.
Hey,
DeCenzo Miller has been impressive.
Rob, I won't give you a bad time because I know where I'd be if I was on those sidelines. I'd be down there next to the heater, too.
At kickoff, it was 10 degrees with the wind and chill included. Fourth down, about 6 to go. Mississippi State to punt. This is Cole. Mickey Jones lets it bounce. Just inside the 20, about the 17-yard line. Francis Cole came up with a nice punt earlier in the first half, pinning Texas A&M down on its own 4-yard line. That one, though, traveling just 30 yards. 3:36 to play in the third quarter. I'm Mark Jones along with Gino Torretta and Rob Stone. From all of us at ESPN, like to wish all of you at home watching tonight all the best in 2001. R.C. Slocum, meanwhile, has been the head coach of Texas A&M, actually for 12 years, but has been a coach for 28. He's a company guy. 1st and 10 from the Aggie 17. Ferris wide open to Porter. Out near midfield, an Aggie first down. Greg Porter, a versatile receiver. He'll line up all over the field. Finally tackled by Birdsong, but a big first down for the Aggies.
And they run the spread formation, and here's Porter, the 6'4", 220-pound wide receiver. He just runs right up the seam. Ferris does a great job looking off the free safety, hits him on the money, but just like you said, Mark, Porter gives you all kinds of options. When you're 6'4", you can flex out and be that second tight end. He does a great job of it.
A 31-yard pickup. Toombs gets the handoff, runs over to the left side. McCauley and Valletta. Probably got 1 or 2 on the play. It'll be second down. Stopped by Willie Blade and Mario Hagan. Davis also in the area. Mario Hagan's a very gregarious young man. We had a great visit with him, broadcast major, and a very ardent and loyal follower of all of the ESPN programming. Wants to get into the business afterwards.
He wants to take our job.
A lot of charisma. 2nd down and 8. A 4 wide receiver set. Toombs the lone back. It's complete wide open to Chris Taylor. And Taylor has an Aggie first down in Mississippi State territory. Birdsong making the tackle on the play.
And Mark Ferris, almost 60% completions on the year for 2,500 yards, does a good job of finding Chris Taylor on the hitch route outside. Taylor, being very prudent, catches the ball, doesn't bring a knee down, able to pick up valuable yardage and keep this drive alive and pick up the first down.
Taylor was a key player in their game against Texas, had one of his better nights. 1st and 10 from the Bulldog 35 for Texas A&M. Toombs giving you that yak, yards after contact. Connor Stevens and Toby Galladay making the tackle on the play. Stacey Jones with a key block. I'm Mark Jones along with Gino Torretta and Rob Stone. We are here in Shreveport, Louisiana for the 25th edition of the Independence Bowl, the Sanford Independence Bowl, featuring Texas A&M and Mississippi State. The Aggies jumped out to a 14-0 lead. We're right now trail in the 3rd quarter. 21-20. Toombs again. Stopped up after a gain of 2. Meanwhile, quarterback Mark Ferris, 6 of 7 so far today. 102 yards. 1 touchdown. Mark Ferris is something we haven't had a chance to document his story. He's a 25-year-old sophomore. Came back to the program in 1999 after spending several years as a 1st-round draft pick of the Pittsburgh Pirates in their baseball team. You know, everyone talks about Chris Wenke and his success and the maturity he brought to Florida State. Ferris doing the same thing here at Texas A&M. 3rd and 2. Toombs close to the first down.
Toombs, the ball carrier. Looks like he's going to get Toombs is going to get a favorable spot mark. That's enough for the first down. But Mark Ferris filled a big question mark for this Texas A&M ball club. They weren't sure who was going to be the quarterback, whether it was going to be Ferris or now his backup, Vance Smith. But he stepped up well, and he told us, hey, a lot of those experiences in the minor league really helped me to prepare every single day to do my best.
He said he learned a lot from those long bus rides and the daily grind that baseball provided for him. He got as high as the Double-A level. The Pirates fan hit 270. You know, had a chance to ask, could he hit the curveball? He said, well, not well enough.
He learned he'd rather be a college football player.
The Aggies with the first down at the Mississippi State 25-yard line. Trailing by 1 point. Under a minute to play now in the 3rd period. Toombs and Jones in the backfield. Going up top into the end zone. Incomplete. Intended for Robert Ferguson. Morgan and Minor back there on defense. Flag down on the play as well.
There you see the play action fake to Toombs. And Ferris is trying to pick on Marco Minor. He's filling in for the All-American Fred Smoot and trying to get Ferguson, the big 6'2" wideout. But Marco Minor is all over this play. And really, Ferguson does a great job of knocking that ball out and really becoming the defender at the end of that play and not getting Minor a chance to pick that ball off.
Yeah, Fred Smoot, the All-American, not here because of academic improprieties and shortcomings. Marco Minor, the man filling in for him at that right corner spot. 6'4", 203-pound junior.
And the coaches say he does not lack for physical talent. Probably one of the best athletes on their whole team.
14 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. 1st and 21 after the penalty. Toombs gets about 3. Tackle made by Ellis Wims, the pro prospect.
Ellis line for the tackle.
Mark, the tackle's made by Wims, but I tell you what, Willie Blade is just dominating the front. He knifes through. He gets to Toombs 2 to 3 yards deep in the backfield. Alters his course. A great job.
45 minutes in the books in the snow. Who's going to gift wrap the victory? We'll find out in the last 15 minutes. We'll be right back.
ESPN's 2001 Almanac, a great holiday gift in bookstores now.
Most people struggle just to get through the winter. Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo owners seem to get over it pretty easily. This is the season to visit your local Jeep dealer.
When I go, I go. I get in the zone and everything gets left behind, especially my old antiperspirant. It never kept me dry, but this one's different. High Endurance Red Zone, the strongest form of wetness protection ever made, just for guys who sweat big. Nothing is stronger. High Endurance Red Zone absorbs in the skin to help stop odor and sweat where it starts. Guaranteed. Or call 1-800-PROVE-IT and Old Spice will buy you a stick of yours. Come on, take a dry run in the Red Zone. Intense protection for intense people.
You think you're on the right track. You save $10 on a $10,000 stock trade, but then you lose $100 because of lousy execution. There are no shortcuts to financial success. Anyone can offer cheap trades. Very few online brokers can offer the world's best financial thinking. Morgan Stanley Dean Witter. Move your money. Get well connected.
Do I look like Puffy?
There are people out there who want you dead.
On January 12th, make the switch.
There's not gonna be any Rodney Kings going on.
See the sights.
What is up with your eyes?
And get ready for the ride of your life.
How you doing, sisters?
It's their first time on a train.
It's a first time for everything.
Double Team, rated PG-13, starts Friday, January 12th.
Back in Shreveport, Louisiana. Don't dress like that at home, folks. That's the way you want to come out to the game. Looks like fun. The fourth quarter is paramount for Mississippi State. In their losses this year, 4 of them, they've been outscored 51-7. They've had some late meltdowns, including in overtime. Ferris passing. Complete to Johnson. One man to beat. Touchdown Aggies. They can pound at you or they can hit you with the quick strike. Right there, they hit the Bulldogs with the ladder.
Mark, this is all the field conditions here because Ferris throws a simple hitch route and watch his receiver. He just changes his footing. The defender is frozen. He doesn't know which way he's going. And look at that. There you see he's off to the races, able to score the touchdown. Bethel Johnson, look at that. 22 consecutive games. He's only played 22 here, and he's got a catch in every single one of them, averaging over 10 yards a catch, and that's his first touchdown this season.
Good for 35 yards. And Gino, they're going to go for the 2-point conversion. Just as we mentioned, the fourth quarter meltdowns by Mississippi State, they give up a touchdown. And they'll convert the 2 points. Toombs with a block and Whitaker with the run. Richard Whitaker gives Texas A&M a 28-21 lead. A little counter. Productive play for the Aggies. They lead when we come back.
Sharpie, mark whatever you want.
This is a real mom and pop hardware store. I think we have a nice family feel. A couple of months ago, we got a little bump in our car. Oh, we've been with our State Farm agent for 26 years. Because I think he puts his personal self into it. Just like we do at the hardware store, he actually listens to what your needs are. It makes me feel pretty important.
Get to know your State Farm agent.
You can't put a price on a good relationship.
Did you ever see that movie, You've Got Mail? Where this guy and girl fall in love emailing each other a bunch of times? Anyway, they finally meet face to face, and there's this big romantic kiss. Do you know the movie I'm talking about? Did you ever see that one? Well, this guy didn't. Ford F-Series Super Duty. Built Ford tough.
Get the power of 3, the Intel Pentium 3 processor.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of the 2000 Sanford Independence Bowl is presented by Sharpie Permanent Markers from Sanford. Mark whatever you want. And in part by Ford F-Series. The best-selling trucks are built Ford tough.
Guys on the sidelines, some of the security and police here hanging tough through the snow. Texas A&M leading by 7. Mark Jones, Gino Toretto, Rob Stone here in the snow with you. Cody Skates to kick off back deep. It's Larry Huntington and Dante Walker. This is Huntington. And with the treacherous footing, his knee touches, and that's where they'll mark it. Let's go back to the last touchdown. Speaking of traction, Gino.
Mark Ferris sees the blitz, audibles to the quick hitch pass. Bethel Johnson, look, the defender slips, but then Johnson lets him stand up. He freezes him with a little juke move, and there you see he'll run right by Kendall Roberson, and there you see he just sprints to the end zone, and the safety, Eugene Clinton, not able to get over there in time to stop the touchdown.
When you said he froze Roberson, no pun intended, right?
No pun intended.
Okay, just want to make sure. Dante Walker in the backfield, the deep back out of the eye behind Kenny Williamson. The Bulldogs still having problems closing games out. Walker gains 2 on the play. Brought down by the safety, Michael Jameson. Time now for our Morgan Stanley Dean Witter storyline of the game. And the prevailing theme, Dante Walker's running from Mississippi State. And on the other side of the ball, the same for Jamar Toombs.
Look at the discrepancy in passing yardage, all because of 2 big plays, all set up because of the field conditions.
This is the defensive back's worst nightmare, isn't it?
Quarterbacks, too. It's tough to throw the ball in there.
5 on the play clock, and Mississippi State unable to get the play off. They slept on the clock that time. It's going to cost them. There you go. Sherrill is the winningest coach in Mississippi State history. Here, taking on the team, the program, the school where he used to coach. We spoke with him this week. You just got the feeling that nothing would be sweeter for him than a victory.
Looking to make a connection with a pen that's truly smooth? Uniball. Smooth. Real smooth.
Remember the A-Team? Now there was an odd bunch of individuals. They always had some cockamamie scheme to get out of a jam. It never sounded like it would work, but of course it always did. Week after week, same time, same channel. Those were my boys. The Ford F-150 Super Crew. Built Ford tough.
You wouldn't believe the sales.
I hope you didn't put all those in the credit card.
Yeah, why?
Those interest charges are really going to get us.
Don't worry. I used our new Capital One card. It's interest-free.
To the neighbors! If you had a new Capital One card, all your purchases would be interest-free until July 2001.
We gotta tell Bob and Carol about Capital One.
What's in your wallet?
We're here with a bunch of friends in our racing limo to test the power of Interstate batteries. Anyone for a power shake?
Hey, this baby cranking out some power.
Interstate batteries. Power fast, built to last.
Hey, we just won first, second, third place.
The Rose Bowl presented by AT&T. As much a part of college football as ABC Sports. Washington faces Purdue New Year's Day at 4:30, 1:30 Pacific.
Back in Shreveport, Mark Jones along with Gino Torretta. Gino, how does Mississippi State get back some of that momentum now in the fourth quarter?
Well, the only reason they've had success is running the football behind Pork Chop Womack, and they have to start doing it here.
They have the ball right now as we get set to play 2nd and 8. Deep in their own territory, Madkin keeps it himself after faking the handoff to Williamson. Gains about 3 or 4 on the play. Brought down by Ron Edwards. It'll be 3rd down and about 6 to go.
Look at the big discrepancy in passing yards. Mississippi State, like I said, they have to continue to run the football, but they can't get those penalties early on. Like we said earlier, success on 1st down has been the key for them to keep the ball on the ground.
From their own 11-yard line, the quick slant, incomplete by Madkin, intended for Walker out of the backfield. It'll be 4th down and 6. That one a drive killer for the Bulldogs.
And Texas A&M is almost guaranteed to have this ball on Mississippi State's side of the field after this punt.
The wind, which was at Mississippi State's back to begin the 3rd quarter, is not anymore. A low line drive punt, not a great effort. Jones lets it stop on Mississippi State's side of midfield. And as you intimated, Gino, good field position for the Aggies.
And only a 28-yard punt. Prentice Cole, the punter, we talked about the footing. He slips and barely gets that ball off.
You know, we asked the former baseball player Ferris whether he'd rather throw for a 99-yard touchdown bomb or hit a home run in Yankee Stadium. Here's what he had to say.
To me, there's nothing like football. There's nothing like the excitement that goes along with it. And that's part of what I missed when I was playing baseball, because baseball, there's so many games, and the games kind of run together, and it's just all a blur. But football, every game, there's so much build-up around every game that it's really a big deal. That's what makes it special.
So he'd rather throw for the long bomb touchdown. You know, I'm sure you'd agree with him on that.
I definitely would.
Look at some of the people who have played quarterback in college football after baseball careers, minor league baseball careers. Ferris, we all know about Chris Wenke and Josh Booty, who was in the Florida Marlins chain.
And don't forget Greg Porter, their big, tall, wide receiver. He was a 3rd-round pick for the Reds, opted to go straight to college. He now plays for the A&M baseball team as well as the football team.
And Chip Amherst, who is in the Blue Jays system, is someone who R.C. Slocum has recruited and no doubt will be keeping in touch with. between the tackles. Gaining about 2. Jamar Toombs has done yeoman work for Texas A&M.
And Mark, we talked about the meltdown in the 4th quarter for this Mississippi State ball club, and this does not bode well with the great field position that A&M now has.
Jackie Sherrill's team looking for their 2nd consecutive bowl win. Last year winning the Peach Bowl. The ball on the Mississippi State 33. 3rd down and 4 for the Aggies. They switch up the tempo this time, run it to the perimeter, where Richard Whitaker has the 1st down. Tackled by Josh Morgan. They move the chains with 11:33 remaining in the 4th quarter. Don't forget, coming up next, Sports Center, Reese Davis and Dan Patrick will give you the stories from the Broncos and Ravens game, the Bucks and Eagles game as well, and a reflection and images, indelible ones, of the 2000 year in sports. What do you think about the year gone by in sports, Gino? What do you think of?
What do I think of?
Yeah.
Being with you all year.
Hey, I'm
Jonesy.
flattered.
It's been a special year for me.
Let me buy you some dinner after the game. Jones and Toombs in the backfield. Toombs breaking several tackles, gaining about 7. And A&M playing a little ball control now. Birdsong making the tackle with Morgan.
Look at Toombs here going over the right-hand side. Great job by A&M getting a hat on a hat. All the Mississippi State defenders are brought down. Big pickup, 8 yards.
I think back in the year 2000, I think of some of the turnarounds in college football. South Carolina, Lou Holtz, job by Dennis Erickson, your former coach at Oregon State. 2nd down and 2 from the Mississippi State 19. They just get the play off. Toombs chopped down. Nice tackle coming off the strong safety for support is Eugene Clinton, number 14 for the Bulldogs. There's a look at Clinton, who made that last tackle.
We talked about the 4th quarter meltdown already. Texas A&M already scored once in this 4th quarter. Looks like they're going in for another score. Mississippi State, the 4th quarter, has not been kind to them this year.
It really showed in the last game they played against Ole Miss. But in fairness to them, part of that problem has been compounded by their lack of depth and some injuries and some situations they've had in their secondary. Toombs again. And after a while, Clinton making the tackle, you would think, Gino, that when you've got 260 pounds hammering at you on every play, that's got to wear the defense down.
Oh, definitely does, especially a Mississippi State ball club that plays 5 defensive backs every snap. So they're in nickel coverage every snap, where a lot of the times teams will mostly only have 4, sometimes go to 3 if they're going to face a ball club that's going to run the ball as much as Texas A&M is right now.
The ball is on the Mississippi State 13-yard line. Toombs. Touchdown, Toombs. Pounding away inexorably and invariably the unstoppable, undeniable Jamar Toombs.
Mark, credit the offensive line for Texas A&M. That was the right guard, Billy Yates, and the right tackle, Taylor Whitley. There you see the fake reverse. Toombs just follows his blockers, and there you see he's not even touched till he's 10 yards down the field and able to barrel in for the score.
13 yards in all for Jamar Toombs on that run. And he has rushed the ball today 30 times for a total of 160 yards, a couple of touchdowns. Terrence Kitchens now in for the extra point for the Aggies, as they have taken a 14-point lead. They have outscored Mississippi State 14-0 in this period. Number 5 is alive for the Aggies. We'll be right back to Shreveport after this.
An absolutely great world-class car just got better. thanks to this incredible offer. Right now, qualified buyers can put 0 down, get 0% financing, and 0 payments for 12 months. No payments for 12 months on any new 2000 or 2001 Olds at Jim Muir Oldsmobile on Van Dyke at 19 Mile.
Jump in your wheels and go to Van Dyke at 19 Mile and Sterling Heights. Not too many banks in the world endure, but a Jim Muir deal, well, that's for sure.
You can travel from coast to coast, and still you may never find a better deal on car insurance than the one you'll find right in your own neighborhood. Because right now, your local State Farm agent is offering new policyholders substantial discounts on car insurance. So now you can get all the benefits of a discount rate, plus all the benefits of State Farm's friendly personal service, wherever you call home. Call a State Farm agent today to learn how much you can save on insurance from the world's leading car insurer.
The College Hoops Tour heads for Syracuse.
Troy Murphy, he could be player of the year. I mean, this kid is for real.
Troy Murphy leads the Fighting Irish in a Big East brawl with the Cuse. Notre Dame, Syracuse, Tuesday at 7 on ESPN.
I'm Reese Davis. Later on SportsCenter, the Raven defense resolves to dominate Denver. The Eagles try to keep the Bucks in the cold, and we'll review the images of 2000. Join Dan Patrick and me, SportsCenter, after the game.
Welcome back to Shreveport, Louisiana. With the Aggies moving up into a 14-point lead, the Mississippi State coaches sensing that his team is starting to panic and lose their confidence. All the coaches coming around, slapping on the back, saying, guys, come on, we're still in it, let's get it going. However, on the offensive side, they're having some communication issues, especially in the huddle. Wayne Madkin, the quarterback, came over to his offensive line and said, guys, you've got to get in the huddle immediately. Let's get together, let's get these plays in, and let's get it going. And obviously now they got the clock fighting against them as well.
Yeah, Rob, you know, that problem showing when they've had several delay of game penalties today.
They had to waste some timeouts early in the first half because of it.
Huntington still on his feet. Nice return by Huntington out near the 45-yard line.
Barry Huntington with the big ring. Let's go back and take a look at this right side of the line. Here's the center, the right guard, Billy Yates, and the right tackle, Taylor Whitley. Look at the wall there that they give Jamar Toombs. Look, he's got everywhere to go. The defender, the safety tries to come up, makes a play, slips, bad footing, able to get in for the score. The offensive line doing a super job tonight.
Well, it's not doomsday, but it is Tombsday as we approach 2001. 30 carries, 160 yards. An integral part of their offense tonight. Not to mention some of his blocking, Gino.
Integral. He is their offense.
Under the lights and in the snow, Mark Jones, Gino Torretta, Rob Stone down to the sidelines here. The Sanford Independence Bowl, the 25th edition. Don't forget, coming up next, SportsCenter. A roundup from today's action in the NFL. Much more. And Coach Slocum, his heat is cutting right through these frigid temperatures. There was a hold against the Aggies on that last play. And that's why he's upset.
I think I'd say he's a little bit more than upset, Mark.
That's as animated as I've seen him in a while. You know, one thing we haven't talked about, Gino, these bowl games are important in the respect that it gives you a lot of momentum going into next year in spring workouts.
It does that, but it also gives you about 15 to 20 extra practices, so it's like an extra spring ball. So for these young players, it gives you a lot more time to practice. That looks like a late hit by the Mississippi State
Miller
defender, but going back to our point, Mark, it gives you 15 extra practices. You can really give the younger players that are going to be need to step up the next season, give them extra practice time and see how they are going to react to the pressure.
And these bowl games important with respect to finality. You know, for the seniors on both sides of the ball, they will be judged and remembered for this last game that they've played. Jackie Sherrill's team, meanwhile, trailing by 14. Michael Fair, you know, the center for Mississippi State, confirmed what we had thought about the extra practice time. Here's what he had to say.
Well, I was on a winning team last year in the Peach Bowl, and you wouldn't think so being so far apart, but it really has a lot of momentum going to the next year. It'll help Mississippi State, you know, in recruiting and a lot of things like that. And you can really feel the momentum coming off a win on your last ball game during 2 days.
Fair, a player that knows all about hard work, did a lot of work on his dad's cotton farm out in Mississippi. Penalty was against the Aggies. Madkin fires complete. Out of the backfield is Donald Lee, making his first reception of the game. And a first down for the Bulldogs deep into Texas A&M territory.
What happens when you have to run the ball essentially every down? It opens up the play action. Madkin did a great job there of making the fake, and Donald Lee, a young 6'4", 235-pound sophomore, the coaches say he's very good but a little raw.
The ball on the 29-yard line of Texas A&M, 1st and 10. Flags on the play.
Dead ball. False start. Offense, 5 yards. Remains first down.
Once again, some communication problems for Mississippi State offensively.
And I think that was on Lee, the young, talented sophomore tight end. Coaches really like his ability. This is where, hey, it's crunch time. We're in the 4th quarter. We can't have any penalties.
Mississippi State said coming into this game, you know, this is personal for us. We want to show that we can get to where Texas A&M is. We're an up-and-coming program. Gaping hole for Walker. Dante Walker, touchdown.
Dante Walker takes it the distance.
And the Bulldogs are right back in it.
A 33-yard Mississippi State touchdown.
Dante Walker with another touchdown for the Bulldogs. And they trail by 8. A 32-yard run.
Watch this Mississippi State offensive line. They come off the ball and give Walker. Look at the cutback lane there. No Texas A&M defenders in sight. And there you see Walker just turn on the jets and get in for the score.
Walker, one half of that running back tandem that gives the Bulldogs a great change of pace.
He's saying, what 4th quarter meltdown?
Scott Westerfield heating it up. And they trail by just 7 with plenty of time remaining on the clock. The Bulldogs looking for their 2nd consecutive bowl victory. We'll be right back.
NBA Tonight, Tuesday through Saturday, late night on ESPN2.
Bold, smooth writing ink. Now easily erases. Presenting new Papermate Eraser Dot Max. It's like having your own personal delete key. Papermate, at the heart of communication.
You know the Fight Club, right? Where this group of guys get together in some warehouse or basement or whatever. And they just get beaten up. Then go to work the next day, scraped and scarred and wearing bruises like badges of honor. Now there's a hobby that separates the men from the boys. The new Ford Ranger Edge. Built Ford tough.
Rudy's tale begins with a cold and a most peculiar nose, we're told. When his mother tried to soothe his nose, the closer she got, the brighter it glowed. So she wished for new tissues, one of a kind. Then appeared Puffs Plus, a miraculous find. Enchanted pillows kissed with lotion, such a soothing magical potion. And as Rudy felt better, his nose was pleased. The moral? A nose in need deserves Puffs indeed.
When you have a cold, even small tasks are a big pain. So get Dayquil, the daytime non-drowsy, congested, stuffy head, sore throat, coughing, aching, fever, so you can get back your day medicine from the makers of NyQuil.
Welcome back to chilly Louisiana. Now, you know things are cold when this machine right here. This is the thing that's been dragging around, the thing that's been cleaning the field. Well, the thing that's been cleaning the field is back here. The brusher, it froze. It can't move. There's nothing you can do about it. It's sitting back here. It's not cleaning any field. You know this town is not quite ready for this because I talked to cops. They don't have any plows to take care of the streets. They just got some sand machines. So I got the toboggans in the back, guys. We're going to be sledding on home to the hotel.
Mark, how are we going to get home?
We might be
going to be open?
We might be doing our New Year's right here in the booth. John Michael Marlin to kick off. He of the whiff earlier, which cost them a touchdown eventually. Whitaker and Goins back deep for Texas A&M. A knuckleball that stops dead at the 20. Goins run out of bounds. Dwayne Robertson making the tackle on the play. There's the dog pound rock, the special teams unit for Mississippi State. The ritual, the dance, and they do it with near religious zeal. Something that was started by Kenzaki Jones, a special teams player and DB a couple of years ago. And it's become part of the tradition at Mississippi State, much like the 12th man is now at Texas A&M. So many parallels between these two programs. Toombs again. Stopped by Willie Blade. By the way, Jamar Toombs has now become the first player in Independence Bowl history to rush for 3 touchdowns in a game. And we still have 7:47 to play. I think you're looking at the game's MVP right now, Gino, or at least a candidate. This is Toombs. Brought down by Galladay. We checked that. That was Dante Walker. Just a few moments ago, 3 touchdowns. They both run really well tonight.
Check that. You making a little audible up here in the booth, Jones?
Oh, yeah. Got to be able to switch it up.
All right. We'll let you do that. We'll let you do it.
Can see through the snow, you know.
Check it. See what you're working with.
They're down in 2. I still say he's an MVP candidate. 3 touchdowns or not.
Whoever wins, the running back's going to get the MVP vote.
Ferris hands it off. Whitaker this time stopped up at the line of scrimmage. The charge led by Willie Blade and Toby Galladay. Blade showing no effects from that back injury, but Ellis Wims now limping to the sidelines for the Bulldogs.
And Wims was in there too. He definitely got in there and stopped Whitaker from being able to pick up the first down.
4th down for the Aggies.
And we have a new deep snapper. The snapper was out with a dislocated finger, so let's see if this backup deep snapper can get the ball back to the punter, Cody Skates.
Don Milback, and it's wide, but a good play by Skates. A great recovery by Skates. This is Huntington. Collared out of bounds. Don Milback, the new deep snapper, a little off to the right.
And a great athletic move by Cody Skates, the punter. He's only a freshman, but boy, if he doesn't come out with that, it's a whole different ball game.
1st down and 10 for Mississippi State. Don't forget, coming up after the game, Sports Center, Reese Davis and Dan Patrick. All the news and highlights from the day. 1st and 10 from the Mississippi State 40-yard line. Metcalf looking downfield. And it's incomplete, intended for Terrell Grindle. Jay Brooks providing the coverage on the play. And there's a flag down on the play.
Sideline warning Mississippi State. Sideline warning.
I got holding on 31 defense.
Well, I think you heard the official. Holding on 31 defense. That would be Sean Weston, the DB.
Let's see. Here it is down below. Weston, the defender. Matkin has all day to throw this football. I'm sure there's the hold right there. He pulls the receivers, pulls Grindles down. Who's that? That's definitely one of the coaches making sure the official saw that holding penalty.
That would be a Mississippi State coach protesting vehemently. Either that or trying to keep warm. Automatic first down on the call. First and 10.
The troopers getting into the action there.
5:48 to play in the fourth quarter. Mississippi State with the ball right at midfield, the 50-yard line. Grindle in motion. Matkin going up top. What a catch! But there's a flag down on the play. Larry Huntington hauled it in.
Is Huntington going to get called for offensive pass interference here?
He was working on Sean Weston, and that's exactly what it is.
There you see Weston all over Huntington, and it almost looks like was going to be a face guarding penalty on the defender Weston, but Huntington pushes off there at the end. The ball's up for grabs, and there you see the contact. He just pushes off there right at the end.
Yeah, it was just enough to make a little space.
That was a little bit of a ticky-tacky call there. I think the defender was turning around and it looked as if the Huntington pushed off.
Meanwhile, the icy cold stare, literally, of Jackie Sherrill coming from the sidelines. Very much a player's coach. His kids and student athletes really have a special kind of connection, it seems, with him. 5:40 remaining.
Wow, you don't think this is a big penalty, Mark? They have that ball, Mississippi State, inside the 5. If that's a catch, now they're back on their own 35-yard line. 36, excuse me.
Looking at first and 24. Walker. Gets back about 10 on that play with 5.5 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Royland Bradley making the tackle on the play.
And where are they going over? Look at the big fella, the big boy. Pork chop Womack up there to left tackle, and he's just annihilating the end for Texas A&M. That's a definite mismatch at 6'3", 346 pounds.
From down in the Delta.
Look at that. That's body by Jake right there. Lots of abs in there.
That's the pork chop, baby.
He said, hey, I'm an offensive lineman. I'm going to bring it.
Out of the shotgun, Matkin set up the screen, but it's incomplete. Intended for Miller. It'll be third down and 11 from their own 49.
And Royland Bradley was bringing the heat on Matkin. If he has time to throw this ball, there you see the pressure by Royland Bradley and Cornelius Anthony, because if he has one more split second to throw that ball, he finds DeCenzo Miller, and that becomes a big play.
Pivotal play here for the Bulldogs with just one timeout remaining in their trail. 35-28. 4:50 to play. 4:49 in the fourth quarter. A&M coming on a blitz. Matkin, little contact and no flag. Incomplete, intended for Grindle. Sammy Davis locked him up.
I think Sammy Davis got away with one there. I think that was just because of an uncatchable ball. The officials did not throw that penalty flag.
And it is fourth down. In comes Prentice Cole in the punting unit. Ferris Taylor back deep. Along with number 83, Mickey Jones. Cole hangs one up. Boy, you talk about stick and stay. Near the 5-yard line, Prentice Cole has done that several times tonight. Pinning the Aggies deep in their own territory. A 46-yard punt by Cole. That's like a little wedge shot in golf, Gino.
Not one of my wedge shots. They don't sit down nice like that.
Got the right spin on it. Mind you, the snow probably helped a little bit. Hey, don't forget more college football coming up on ESPN and ABC. It's ABC's turn next. Oregon State against Notre Dame, New Year's Day. That's tomorrow, 8:30 Eastern time, 5:30 Pacific. Oregon State and Dennis Erickson, one of the big turnaround stories in all of college football over the last 2 years, but especially this year. Well, what do you think she's going to do with that? Would she dare? Nah, she wouldn't. Would she?
This isn't Philadelphia, is it?
That doesn't have someone's name on it, I hope. First down and 10. Ball on the Aggies' own 6-yard line. Weber and Toombs out of the eye. Mississippi State has to keep an eye on the clock now with just one timeout remaining. Galladay making the tackle on Toombs that time. Ferris, meanwhile, very efficient. Not spectacular, but efficient. 7 of 8 for 137 yards and a couple of touchdown passes today. Ferris just a sophomore.
Mark, Willie Blade hasn't been in on a lot of tackles, but I tell you what, he's wreaking havoc in the Texas A&M backfield. He's getting it in. He's owning the line of scrimmage. He's altering the running back's path. He's having a great game.
That was one of the key matchups today. Blade against McKinney, their center.
And at 6'2", 318, you don't think the big fella can move, but I tell you what, he has some great quicks.
And the Aggies step back, step away, and call a timeout. So will we. We'll be back on the other side right after this.
Get the power of 3, the Intel Pentium 3 processor.
ESPN the magazine. Stuart Scott wants the fleece. Booyah! Stuart, only brand new subscribers get the free fleece.
Everyone wants our warm, roomy fleece pullover. It's free with your paid subscription to ESPN the magazine.
Maybe you want to take out another subscription.
Call now for ESPN the magazine. Get 26 issues, a year's worth for just $1 an issue. And your fleece pullover is free. 1-800-972-8448.
I'm Dan Patrick here in the ESPN Radio Chopper. Radio marketing is all about promotions. That's why we're blanketing the country with these ESPN radio bats. So tune in, and if you happen to catch one of these bats, enjoy!
Quarterback Mark Ferris says there's one quarterback that has a special place in his college football memory bank.
Gino Toretta is one of the first people I remember winning that. On what year it was. That's one of the first guys I remember winning the Heisman Trophy when I was growing up.
It's not that long ago there, Mr. Ferris. You're 25 years old. I'm only 30. I think he was in high school. It's a little bit different with some of these other players. They were in like grade school, I think, when I was playing. Not that old.
Second down and 10 for Ferris. Toombs and Jones behind him out of the eye. Toombs mishandled a snap, got it back. And Mississippi State's defensive front really starting to rise to the challenge once again. Willie Blade, who is one of their MVPs defensively today, Gino.
He's unbelievable, Mark. He's been in every single play this season. 14 tackles for loss, 5 sacks. Watch Blade just knife through. There you see, he just swim move. He's right in Toombs' face, not giving him anywhere to go. Lets his defense rally around behind him. Man, he is a player, big-time player.
Ball at the A&M 6, third down and 10. Bulldogs bring pressure. Picked off. It is intercepted by the Bulldogs. Number 23, Marco Minor, with a major play in the game. And the Mississippi State defense comes up. Marco Minor, the man filling in for the All-American, Fred Smoot, played this one like an All-American himself.
Minor's going to get credit for the interception, but Dorsett Davis should get half of this interception because he's right in quarterback Mark Ferris's face. Ferris really just trying to get rid of the football here at the last second, and Marco Minor able to step in front of the receiver and make a big-time interception.
With under 3 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. First and goal. His first pick of the career. From the A&M 4. The toss to Walker. Stopped cold near the line of scrimmage is Dante Walker.
Dante Walker, the ball carrier.
Second down and goal for the Bulldogs. They trail by 7 points.
Cornelius Anthony.
They have one timeout remaining.
And Mark, I tell you what, at the start of that play, I was just thinking, all A&M doesn't need is an interception or a fumble, and sure enough, the Mississippi State defense comes up huge. Here's the goal line. We only got about 4 yards to go, and it's a tie ball game, folks.
Second down and 3. Griffith, the fullback. They run the ISO. Walker stopped up again. The wrecking crew comes up big. It'll be third down and goal to go. Bradley leading the charge. Royland Bradley in that 3-4 alignment for the Aggie wrecking crew defense.
The front three, though, Ty Warren, Ron Edwards, and Ronald Fleming doing a great job here. I tell you what, Mark, I know where I'm going with the football. I'm giving it to Dante Walker, and I'm going over my big left tackle, Porkchop Womack, to get this ball in.
Ball on the 3, third and goal. They go to the air. Touchdown. The tight end, Donald Lee, wide open. So after 2 consecutive runs, they switch it up and go to the air.
What a call there. A tight end screen. Donald Lee right in the middle of the field. Watch the blitz. A&M comes on the all-out blitz. The tight end shows block. There you see just the tight end middle screen wide open in the middle of the field.
Scott Westerfield now
a little shaking. Shaking fast.
Oh, he showed you what he was working with that time. The all-important extra point.
Only his second touchdown on the year. He only had 19 catches this whole season. None bigger than that.
Westerfield out of the hold of Miller. And we have a tie ball game. A couple of coaches intertwined through their history. Sherrill used to have Slocum as his defensive coordinator. The past against the present.
You know, ideas and investment.
R.C. Slocum might be thinking about, might be having flashbacks of that Oklahoma game where they had the game won before Ferris threw a late interception which cost them. Same situation here. Whitaker returns the kick. Moments ago, here's what transpired. Mississippi State making the play that counted.
Pressuring Ferris, and here you see the young Marco Minor step in front of the wide receiver, come up with the interception that leads to the tight end screen. What a super call by Sparky Woods, the offensive coordinator. I thought, hey, he's going over the left side behind Porkchop Womack and running the ball, but no way. We change up pitch for him.
Hey, in this weather, to have 10 touchdowns, which by the way is a combined Independence Bowl record. Who would have ever thought when this game kicked off? First down and 10. Ferris in the flat, and the defense has come alive. Toombs hit hard by Stevens. Connor Stevens, the 6'4" junior, making the tackle on the play. For little or no gain. The 35 points by Mississippi State is the most in a bowl game. As we approach 1 minute to go. On 2nd and 14, Toombs on the screen. Stopped up again. Near the line of scrimmage. Stevens again. 49 seconds to play.
I'll tell you what, Mark, I can tell you what R.C. Slocum's thinking. Can I stop this bleeding? This Mississippi State defense, they smell blood right now, and they're really going after this A&M offense.
The Aggies with 2 timeouts remaining. Mississippi State with 1. Ball on the Texas A&M 16-yard line. This no doubt will be a storied edition, a historical edition of the 25th Independence Bowl. Tied at 35. Stopped is Whitaker. Nine seconds to go in regulation time.
It's going to be a timeout by Mississippi State, I believe. They're going to make Texas A&M punt this football and see if they can get a decent return and maybe score in the last 9 seconds.
Huntington has done yeoman work on punt returns so far tonight. Don't forget, coming up, more college football on ABC New Year's Day, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And on ESPN, it's South Carolina taking on Ohio State. The Capital One Bowl Week continues on ESPN, the 2000 Outback Bowl. That's 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 o'clock Pacific.
Guys, A&M's long snapper, Chance Pierce, dislocated his left ring finger, snapping an extra point. He's out in number 69, Don Mulback. He's only snapped a few times this season, just a little versus Colorado, but that is it, and what a huge snap this one is for him right now.
Yeah, Rob, the last one went wide right, and Cody Skates made a great play to haul in that errant snap.
Well, this one better not go wide right because Skates is standing on the goal line.
It's perfect. And Skates gets off a high punt. Huntington out of bounds with no time remaining, and we will go to overtime. What better way to cap off the year 2000 for both these crews than to decide it with an extra period. We'll be back in just a minute. Welcome back to Shreveport, Louisiana. Texas A&M and Mississippi State deadlocked at 35 apiece after regulation play. I'm Mark Jones, along with Gino Torretta and Rob Stone. The night started in a driving snowstorm, and Texas A&M jumping out to a 14-0 lead. Jackie Sherrill's team rallying late in the 4th quarter, showing a lot of guts, a lot of temerity to tie this game after trailing by 14 points. And that's where we are right now, tied at 35 apiece. Dante Walker has been the focal point running the ball for Mississippi State. For Texas A&M, it's been Jamar Toombs. And this is just the 3rd bowl game ever, Gino, that has gone to overtime.
But Mark, the 3rd time this season Mississippi State has gone to overtime, and their previous 2, both losses.
They've been outscored 14-0 in overtime so far this season. Well, if nothing else, they have shown that they can come back. And come back late in the fourth quarter. Here's a look and review of the overtime rules. Coin toss for choice of the offense, defense, or end of the field. If you win it, each team gets a possession from the opponent's 25 per overtime until the winner's decided.
And really key to win the coin toss, because whoever wins is going to go on defense. Let the other team's offense go on. Then they know if they need to score a touchdown or just field goal to tie the ball game.
Captains in midfield for the coin flip. Make sure they can find it through the snow. Mississippi State
won the toss and we'll play defense.
And we'll be back and have it for you. We go to overtime. The Bulldogs and the Aggies in a minute. Back in Shreveport, Louisiana, the 25th edition of the Independence Bowl. Texas A&M, meanwhile, trying to snap a 3-game bowl losing streak. And they go to work on offense from the Bulldog 25. Toombs in the backfield. Taylor in motion. Toombs. Toombs diving for the pylon. Touchdown on the first play.
Jamar Toombs of Texas A&M.
Mark, A&M comes out with an imbalanced set, and Billy Yates, the right guard, and right tackle Taylor Whitley do a great job of coming off the ball. And look at that one play. Here you see the handoff, and look at Toombs follow his blockers. They just maul the Mississippi State front four, and there Toombs showing the good size and great speed diving in.
Toombs has rushed 35 times. 35. That's a workhorse effort.
Don't forget, this is not a given here, this extra point.
Kitchens to attempt the extra point. Nudging Toombs back to him for a minute. He's run for a total of 193 yards, 3 touchdowns. One of those backs that gets stronger as the game progresses. Everyone talks about Texas A&M's ability to pitch and catch and throw the ball around now, but you know what? They can play smash mouth when they need to.
Well, it's not too shabby when you got a fullback averaging 5.5 yards a carry in a bowl game.
We'll do it again. Kitchens out of the hold of Bodovich. They've missed one, remember, tonight. And this one's blocked. And he laterals it. Into the end zone. Julius Griffin. Good for 2 points.
The penetration. And guess who it is? The big play defensive tackle, Willie Blade, 6'2", 320, knifes through the front four again. And look at the toss play, the pitch. There's the 2-point conversion. Now it's only a 4-point ball game. Hey, a touchdown wins. for Mississippi State.
Gino, Eugene Clinton was the one that made the lateral. And then from there, it was, man, what a big play.
He's getting the credit, but I tell you what, you better give the game ball to Willie Blade. Watch him just knife through, blocks this kick. There's no chance that kick's going to get off. There you see Clinton with the toss there at the end to Griffith.
Julius Griffith, and now with a score here, instead of tying it with a touchdown, they win it. Madkin has a whole bunch of real estate. Madkin inside the 10, brought down by Jamison. If Mississippi State scores a touchdown here, it's over. They win. And Jackie Sherrill would have a win over the team he coached for 7 years. And the man who was his defensive coordinator during that time, R.C. Slocum. And this, his first meeting against his former team, Texas A&M.
And Jackie Sherrill made no bones about it. Hey, this game is very, very important to me personally.
An incredible turn of events in this, the extra period. Implausible, maybe. Improbable, maybe. First and goal. Walker stopped cold. And it's second down and goal. The last time they were in this territory, it was 2 runs that got stopped up, and then it was the tight end, Donald Lee. Donald Lee caught the touchdown pass. He was wide open. Second down and goal from the Texas A&M 6.
They gave us a little change-up call the last time in here with the tight end, like you said, Mark. And now it's going to be shotgun, so it looks like you're going to throw the ball. The clock's running down. They better get the snap off.
And they barely get it off. Madkin. Touchdown! The Bulldogs win it!
The quarterback draw has been run 3 times, and 3 times it's worked. And the last one, nothing more important than OT in the score.
The mentor beats the pupil. Sherrill defeats RC. And for the Bulldogs, their 2nd consecutive bowl victory. For Slocum, their 4th consecutive bowl loss. The Capital One player of the game, Willie Blade from Mississippi State. And they are rocking to the Dog Pound Rock. What a way to cap off the 2000 season for Mississippi State. Wayne Madkin, sinus infection and all, into the end zone from 7 yards out to cap the victory. For Rob Stone and Gino Torretta, I'm Mark Jones, wishing everyone out there a happy new year and all the best in 2001.